Oh yeah.
We're just gonna pop up on.
Well, baby, I like it raw.
Baby, I
Shimmy,
like
shimmy,
it
y'all,
raw.
shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yay. Fucking love old dirty bastard.
Wild. So, what's it call it? Best part of post Valentine's Day
Is the chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any at Aldi, and I honestly did not feel like it was too fuck cold to bother to track it down. So I said, "Fuck it."
What did you make?
Turkey burgers.
Well,
I had like 8 of them. Like just patties frozen. Had to thaw them out.
I have the patties and stuff. It's all about just the buns for me. Because also, like, I'd rather have, if I make burgers at home, I'd rather have what's it call it? Good buns. Like, I don't like having cheap buns for burgers. You know, like hot dogs I can do.
Go to Aldi. Get their brioche buns. They're good.
You have these like brioche buns from
Pete's. They're like $3.50, $3.55.
It's on commercial. Got my attention for like 5 minutes.
You said we have your attention for 5 minutes. He's like, I'm doing 2 jobs here right now. I'm doing research.
I mean, part of my job is to watch sports.
Gotta have a live scoop.
Scoop.
Oh man.
Oh shit! I gotta get a lot of lotion. I just realized. Like, fuck.
One thing I can like about a hockey game that I can sit down and watch and enjoy is they actually let the boys get physical with the game.
Of course, they be beating each other's ass.
Have there been hockey animes? Oh, that's Ice Shield,
hockey?
Right?
Ice Shield is football. There are hockey anime. I can't tell you off my head.
I know there's one.
I'm like a shonen hockey anime would go crazy because it'd be part sports, part fight.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like them damn near trying not to decapitate each other with their fucking hockey blades.
Yep.
So there is one that pops up here, but it's not what you would expect.
Put the link in the chat.
About to right now.
Oh, I think I know what you're about to send.
Yep. I'm pretty sure you do.
You know what? I'd give this a watch.
I said I'll check it out. Whoa! Why did I put that there?
Look, Mal!
Hooray!
I'm in shambles. Yep, that's the one. I looked it up. That's like the only one, which is weird. Well, actually, I'm wrong. There's a manga. It's called.
Oh, okay.
Dogs Red Ice Hockey.
Hey man,
there we go.
If there's about to be any type of like sports niche anime out there,
I'd watch that.
Definitely got to run it with the anime girls first to do a vibe check.
This was from the author the author of Golden Kamuy.
I'm gonna just add this to my my watch list.
I'm gonna throw another one that you might want to add onto your list. It's I'm checking that out.
Hero 4. Pure.
It's
Pride of Orange.
Yes. Rule 54. Nope. Rule 50.
They got. Let's see, what else they have here? They got.
Al.
Guess what? What's up?
Check this out. There is a black hockey anime.
Really?
That's being kickstarted. Yes. And it looks pretty sick. I fucks with it. I really fucks with it.
We have some.
They make go.
We need to do
in order
to put this 8 minutes.
And we should hopefully we should have something.
And although the art is good, we know we can polish it up just a little bit better. If we're going to do this, we need to make sure we do it right so you have the best viewing experience. These are all the rewards that you'll be getting when you pledge with Rule 56. I'm going to break them down, so don't worry, I got you. Our first tier is called the Rookie tier. When you pledge $60, your name will be in the credits, not only in the pilot, but the entire first season, so everyone knows you're a part of the team. Now, our second one gets a little better. Our second tier is called the Power Play tier. When you pledge $100, not only will you get your name in the credits, but you'll get an exclusive wallpaper created by our team. Now here's the big one. Our final tier is called the Hat Trick tier. When you play Our final tier is called the Hat Trick tier. When you play $250 and over, the first 5 who
Also,
plays
David,
the
did you
most
go ahead and watch?
have their likeness in the
Since you're off
series
today, I didn't know if you had watched
Yeah,
Win or
man,
Lose.
you heard that right. Permanently. And everyone else that's over 250, you'll have a character in your likeness as an extra. And here's the beautiful thing. Once we meet the $1 million valuation that we need to start the series, you'll be getting your pledges back. So pledge now. Let's shake up the anime industry together.
Wow, that's actually an interesting concept. I listened to the Rule 56 thing. They were like, if you pledge to this Kickstarter, you will what's it called? If you pledge to this Kickstarter, if we hit the $1 million tier that we need to get this what was it? If they hit this, once we meet the $1 million valuation that we need to start the series, you get your pledges back. So basically, if you put $250 into the show and you get a likeness of a character in the show, if they basically get the show funded and they're able to pay everyone, you help make the show, so you get your money back.
I'm bumping this right now on
That's
Twitter.
a pretty interesting concept.
I'm bumping this on Blue Sky right now.
That's
like,
we're taking
this
is cool. We want to give it back. Oh, his stick got stuck.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking. I'm watching a hockey game. One of the players' stick got stuck in the wall.
Wow.
But yeah, that's a cool. I like that. I never heard about that before. Where it's like, hey, if we actually get the game funded, if we get this show funded, we'll just give you the money back because you helped. We already got paid. We already paid even, so we'll just give it back to you. That's cool. I like that actually. That's a very cool.
Yeah, I love it. I'm here for it. Like it's giving Ice Show 21, but on ice just by looking at it.
Yeah. Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
All right. Speaking of Black History, let's go ahead and get this started. You guys good to go?
Yeah.
Focused in enough, Al?
So the thing is, the camera's right here, but the game is right here, and you guys are over here.
Okay.
Damn. I'm looking at you. The camera's right here. Fuck you.
He has it on like a Elgato prompter, so he's looking through the game to us on the screen.
Crazy.
Right,
I wish I did have it. Like, I wish I did have a I'm surprised we don't have this. A monitor where there is a camera within the monitor.
That's
that way,
that's a projector.
That's what a teleprompter is. That's what a teleprompter is. All it is just like it's a projector that shows. It's a projector and a camera. The projector projects the image on the glass, so that way it's like proper facing, so you can read it left to right, and then it reflects, and then the camera shoots through it. Because I would have gotten a teleprompter, like the Elgato prompter, but I'm like, I really don't need it that much.
I definitely am gonna get that one day. I really like that they have at-home teleprompter technology now.
Oh, I need to turn my light on. I was wondering why it looks so dark.
Only thing I want them to make now is just a headset that has a mic that's as good as like a desk mic on the like on this.
Good luck.
Like that would be very good. Even if it was big and bulky, like a fucking radio station host or something like that. I'm like, that'd be crazy cool to have that on your head for that.
The closest thing you're getting is either because it's going to be wired. The closest thing you're getting is going to be the Antlion mod mic, where it works with any headset. All it is just a high quality headset, glues onto the headset, mic aux into the computer. They're pretty good for like if you have like the high end headphones, like the high end audiophile headphones. Usually they don't come with mics. Yes, sir. If you have like the high end audio headphones, usually they don't come with microphones. If they do, they're kind of subpar. The Antlion mod mic just right there. And that's probably the best you're gonna get. I think maybe Blue Yeti. I think Blue Yeti, since they're bought by Logitech, I think they make a separate microphone like that as well.
Gotcha.
I'm just prepping the NASCAR Chicago since we're gonna be talking about the Daytona 500.
Daytona
coming back again. As a Chicago driver, the NASCAR is cool, but also, damn, it fucks traffic for like 2 months straight.
It was definitely cool to be there. I wish I could go without it raining.
It didn't rain this year or last
Yes,
year.
it did.
It rained 2
I
years
was
in a
there.
row. I know it rained the
2 years
first
in a
year.
row.
The
Yeah, it rained.
second year, I thought it didn't rain.
No, it rained.
Oh wait, no.
I
Actually,
was
no. Yeah,
there.
I
It
remember.
rained.
I remember. The only difference with the first year is that's when they had the Canadian fire air flowing through the air. So it was like toxic to be outside at the same time, and it was raining. This
Man,
year it
that
was
shit was
just
so
raining.
bad.
Yeah. So we'll see if they can go 3 for 3 again.
Here's hoping not, because if by some, like, by the grace of God, I'm actually able to get out there without it, costing an arm and a leg,
Mhm.
I would like to go and actually, edit it out and put it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Because,
that's true.
That'd be a cool vlog.
Oh yeah.
Waiting for Brendan to get his last chew of food in here.
Yes, sir. I gotta get my last bites in.
Chomp.
I'ma eat it.
All right.
All right.
Also, 2K might also end up getting me again this year.
Oh, you stupid.
Oh no.
Not for basketball.
Wrestling.
For
PGA.
wrestling? Oh, for
PGA.
PGA.
Oh yeah,
So-
golf.
yes,
You golfing,
they had
nigga?
So they did have an open beta, and actually, apparently the reviews for the open beta has been really, really good.
So they got the city, they got the island, then they're gonna have the green or the club for
Mhm.
for
Club.
PGA, and then you're gonna have like golf carts and stuff.
Get your Arnold Palmer. Get your Arnold Palmer PNG drink. I guess I don't fucking know. Brought to you by Nature Valley.
All right, we're gonna go in here in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, what's up, people? This is David from ConMenRDW here, and welcome to another episode of the ConMentary podcast, the geeky nerdy show for geeky nerdy people. I'm your host, David, and I'm here with 2 of my 3 co-hosts here this week. Mark is not feeling well, so he is not here, but it is okay.
He is dead. That is okay.
He is dead.
He is dead.
And then,
Yeah, sorry, it was a tragic cookie accident. Don't ask questions.
too many crumbs in the couch.
Too many crumbs. It got the best of him. He was never seen again.
Then he
They
fell
congealed into
through.
one.
He fell through the cracks in the couch, fell into the cave, and then he got
He fell into the void. I have not seen him. He just said, ah!
You know
And
how in
vanished.
Minecraft you have like the nether portal? If you get like obsidian, you put it together, you light
Uh-huh.
it makes another portal. So yeah,
Yep.
he fell into the crumb dimension. It's just a bunch of crumbs. He tried to light up a blunt on the couch, and all of a sudden,
Yep. All of a sudden, deadass, he just disappeared straight up.
Yeah, even though Mark is not here, we still have 3 out of 4 awesome hosts here this week. Like I said, I am David, and we also have King Two Darks, aka Al.
yo, what's up? I am watching hockey.
He is occupied.
And we also have the monkey, aka
Nigga mode.
Yo,
Oh, happy Black History Month.
happy Black History Month.
Nigga mode.
Who mode?
Exactly.
What mode?
Niggas. But yes. Ha!
Yes. And let's see. Yeah, we're here, and we got a cool little show going on this week. Honestly, like there's gonna be a lot of time on the court and in the cave this week because there's a lot of things in those specific areas going on. At least we're talking about, so we're gonna be doing that. And we're just gonna be chilling. So definitely enjoy the show. This is like the first show in 3 weeks where we didn't have a guest on, so it's just us this week. No special guests. However,
we had back to back. Holy shit,
back-to-back guests.
that's
Yeah.
man.
But we do love having guests on the show, so definitely if you do want to be on the commentary podcast, hit us up. We have a link to a Google form where you can definitely submit your availability if you want to be on a podcast, if you just want to be amongst the 3 of 4 trusted black men online that are worthy of having microphones in front of their faces.
Is there?
Happy Black History Month. Definitely,
Here we go. Women. I'm just kidding.
definitely hit us up,
Is it-
and
this
we'd
is a
love to
joke?
have you on. This is a joke, Jesus Christ.
This is a joke. Holy fuck.
But yeah, let's go ahead and oh yeah, speaking of respecting women, Brendan, you've been binging quite a show.
Yes,
What a transition.
Let's go. Here we
Speaking of
go. Let's
respecting
go.
women, yeah,
In
Brendan.
this cave, we love thick bitches. Let's go. Boom, my clock.
Sonic, you don't understand. Sonic, I love Latino Sonic.
Listen, Sonic.
What do you mean
listen,
Latinos? No, I like Latinos, Sonic.
He loves it. And speaking of loving it, yes, this is an anime I was legitimately excited for. So, plus, I forgot the exact English name. It's like plus size elf can't go on a diet, or like Elfson, forgot the fucking name, but basically the plus size elf anime, right? It was a manga start first, of course, and it caught my attention because first, thick bitches. Secondly, it was actually pretty funny because take Monmusu, fucking Everyday Life of Monster Girls, Monmusu no Ichijo, but make it better and not a harem, and it's really fun. And what's interesting about anime like this is that it's an everyday slice of life, but you also throw in a bunch of legitimate good advice for health. Like, hey, do these kinds of stretches. Make sure you drink water.
It's like the dumbbells
sure
you lift show, but a little bit more fan servicey.
Yeah, just a little bit. And luckily on High Dive they do have the uncensored version, which is nice.
Quality.
Nice.
Quality. Honestly, looking back at it, it has just as much fan service as I thought it would, because the manga is very similar, where like the most you're getting is like, okay, for example, fucking Elfuda-san, the main girl, her big shtick is like she's an elf, of course, but she just loves French fries. And she came to this world.
That's an understatement.
Exactly. Came to this world, overindulged, got fat off the French fries, and then the main character, Naoe-san, fucking works with her to get her weight back down so she can go back home. And then hilarity ensues, where she lost weight in the first episode, and then like she gained the weight, and it's just kind of like on again, off again kind of thing. So she's just fucking around. And then you run into a bunch of other really cool and colorful characters. Like you run into like the big buff ogre mommy, like actual mommy, because she has strong maternal instincts. She just wants to be a mother. You have like a bunch of different creatures, such as mermaids, cyclops. I think there's a slime girl later, but it's not in the anime, it's in the manga. But you get the idea. It's really fun. It's really funny. Like I watched it, I forgot how dumb this was, because it's been about maybe a couple of years since I caught up on the series. And it's really, really fun. Just a bunch of short, like little everyday adventures that they go on, a bunch of nonsense. There was one episode where you have Elfuda, the main girl, and you have the dark elf who works at the convenience store. And her problem is her ass is too fat.
Why is that a problem?
Girl. But her ass is too fat.
The best girl.
The best girl. But
all that ass.
All that ass. No jeans. That's the whole time. That's what it was. All that ass the entire time. What's funny is that like there was one moment where he was like, they both elves were fighting over each other because the regular elves don't like the dark elves, because that's just thing. And she was like, all right, like I'm tired of you and your fat ass. I'm tired of you and your fat stomach. And like the main character said something that was all like there was the main character said the same thing that was on my mind the entire time and on everybody's mind when the shit come out. People like both these things. This is great. And they look at it weird. I'm like, damn, calling us out, I guess. But it's really funny. It's really charming. It's really cute. Yes, it is fan servicey, like here and there, but I've seen worse.
Show where it's
I've seen High School DxD. I've seen High School DxD. I've seen Kiss XS. I've seen a lot of.
I am a seasoned anime freak. You understand? Like I've been around the block.
I've been around the block. And this,
I am familiar with anime gooning.
I know your game. I'm familiar with your game, and you know what? I respect this. It's really fun. I definitely recommend it. David, watch it. You'll get a
good dude, I already it's so funny to me
short.
How High Dive.
Each episode's like 12 minutes long.
Which is surprising because I thought it was gonna pull like because Monmusu, it was like 12 episodes, but each episode was 30 minutes. And I was like, or 22 minutes. And I was like, then you said it was only like 10 episodes and each one was only 10 minutes. I was just like, oh, okay.
It's 14 episodes, 12 minutes. It's short. You can finish it in an afternoon. Okay. No problem.
I expected it to be like double the length, but I mean, I'll take what we can. Honestly, I'll take what I can.
I mean, it's kind of short. The manga's kind of short as is because there's other than getting the main elf to lose weight so that way she can go back home more freely and her like giving in to the desires of the potato. There's no real overarching coherent plot. Yes, sure. Later on, another elf from her same forest comes in and gets involved. Well, this is later, But even then, it's just like it just becomes one of those Nichijou like shows where it's just like everyday
It's
life.
just a gag show,
nonsense.
kind of, yeah.
It's just a gag show, and it's pretty funny. Like there's one girl who's a skeleton, and like because she just dies, but then she reconstitutes her body with magic. But for reasons unknown, she reconstitutes her body with magic, and that magic body has body fat. I'm like,
okay.
what?
So that's your bad. Okay.
That's a UL.
Mhm.
Another one of my favorite characters is there's the satyr where she indulges on the energy of people's dreams, and what she's been doing is that she's been making the main character have insatiable hunger cravings and then feeding off of that, but she's also gotten thick from that shit too. So it's just really fucking funny all the way around. I definitely recommend watching it. It's available on High Dive. It's short, sweet, to the point. If you're not, like I said, it's not overly egregious on fan service because again, I've been to the dark ages. With that being said, it is a fun watch. Recommend it. It's fun, charming, really short. I think the manga's still going on, and again, like I said, there's no major overarching plot, no big bad per se. Outside from maybe like 1 or 2 episodes having like it's one of those shows where it's like if there's a big plot, it's like 2 or 3 episodes that revolve around this one thing. But other than that, it's simple to jump in, simple to jump out. The Japanese sub version was perfectly fine. I kind of want to watch it in English just to see how stupid it gets. But again, it was fun.
Oh yeah. And speaking of anime with delightfully plump main characters, Alante, you've been watching Sakamoto Days.
Yeah. So I have been checking out Sakamoto Days, and it is actually it's actually a lot more lovely than I thought it was gonna be. And
I heard nothing but good things about that series.
It is actually really, really good. So basically what you're following the story behind a former assassin named Sakamoto, who more or less basically gave up the life of being an assassin to be a husband and be a father. And a good one of both it is, but it also has its own comedic moment. The thing is, you would think about this dude being as big as he is, being as just wide, chubby, and just plump as he is, he has not lost a step. This dude is he is still a very skilled assassin. And the thing is, like, part of the reason why not to mention, like, he's a retired assassin. One way to kind of put him in the same mindset a little bit is Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin, in the sense of he does not kill. But the reason he does not kill is because his wife straight up told him, if you kill, we're getting a divorce.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm going to sign the papers.
So he doesn't kill anyone in the show.
So from what I've seen so far, no, because I am watching it in English. It is. I'm watching it as it gets dubbed on Netflix. So so far what I've seen, he does not kill. Not to mention, this dude is one of the top assassins in Japan.
And the does not kill is loose because it's like how when you're playing Spider-Man isn't killing anyone,
or
but
Batman.
like he's tossing them off of 50 floor buildings. They're not dead though.
Case in point,
smashing their heads in with metal pipes.
At case in point, flashback to Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. You fucking take someone to the top of the Empire State Building, spinning pile driver into the fucking dirt. Oh, they're not dead.
And like for example, like in one thing, something similar that he ended up doing with this, I'm not gonna say who or what's the full context behind it. You know how like a Ferris wheel obviously has it goes up, you kind of get towards the top of it.
Yep.
This dude basically comes by, he takes somebody and basically like tackles them into the top of a Ferris wheel, and the next thing you just see them both just sitting there just chilling like they've been talking the entire time.
Oh, one of those. Yeah, I love moments like that where it's giving OG Jackie Chan, where it's like, all right, it's very comedic, but like, he can get real serious when he needs to, and the real serious bits and the comedic bits intertwine very well. So this is something I've been kind of waiting to let this build as well. My sister, she was watching this, and I didn't even recommend it to her. She's been watching it, and she likes it. Again, she's mad because it's still building. I'm like, welcome to the hard part of being an anime fan. Where you gotta kind of, for the hot shit that just came out, you gotta wait. And this is one of the ones that I really can't wait to watch all the way through. Al, I got a recommendation for you. If you like this, there's a manga you should read. It's called Crazy Food Truck. It's pretty fun. Like, a guy who was also like a mercenary, just like roams the desert, and he has a food truck, and like he has a food truck. He's a chef, but he's also a trained mercenary, and he runs across like a girl who it's like she was like, I think she was like an experiment, or she was experimented on for like a superhuman experiment, and they're trying to track her down, and whole time he's just like, all right, don't damage my truck, I need my fucking food here, and then fighting them off, and then dealing with the girl is so funny. It's been a fun read.
One of my favorite types of anime characters are or types of characters in general, because this is like similar to John Wick, this is similar to like movies and that, like where it is this retired badass who has the potential to do whatever they want, and they've purposely and at their own will scaled themselves down because they have some type of personal like reason why they can't kill anybody, or they're just like, or even like in Assassination Classroom, if you've ever seen that, like Koro Sensei can destroy the planet at any moment, but he's choosing to be these kids' teacher, like that type of thing. Like the humble badass character. I love that type of trope so much. So like when I saw that Sakamoto was one of those characters, I was so excited.
Yeah, and not to mention Sakamoto, in my opinion, and this is saying something, he has, in my personal opinion, some of the best jiggle physics in anime.
you know
his chin, bro.
Big boy jiggle physics are underrated.
I mean, we've all seen High School of the Dead. Whenever you know the one scene where the bullet ends up going between those girl breasts.
Yep.
No, he does something similar where he just moves up and a bullet goes under
his
It's so fucking funny. I love it. I love them leaning into the bit. It's so good. And of course, props. The same people. This looks like the same studio who worked on Dr. Stone, which was also really good. Great team. So like, I'm happy to see this get animated very well. But this is definitely on my list. I do want to. I'm not sure if I want to read it or want to watch it because I want to catch up and know all about it. But it's like I know Mark's been screeching about the manga for a while, and then when the anime got announced, he was screeching even louder. So I'm like, all right, I'll have to sit down and watch this. So I'll wait for this to build up a little bit and then watch it because this is my kind of jam.
Yeah, really good. It is on Netflix. They do have it in both Japanese and English. I'm watching it in English. I also want to give a shout out to what you were saying before, because you was watching the Elf anime on High Dive. If you don't have a High Dive account, quite honestly, it's worth it. It's very cheap, and it has a lot of, I don't want to say obscure anime, but
it has
obscure anime that doesn't get
good
the
hidden
break.
gems.
Yeah, it's a hidden gem ass platform, which again I appreciate. Like we're like, yeah, sure, the Black Clovers of the world, the Narutos, the My Heroes, yeah, they're fine, but I want to see more hidden shit.
Made in
more
Abyss
is
all
I've not heard about
there, and I'm
Made in Abyss is. I remember that anime.
I need to go back to watch that. Dude, it's so good. The first season was so good. I know it's good.
I just know, like,
take the emotional hit, take the mental hit. It's such a good.
That's what I'm about to say. Like, I seen a clip that just it was daunting to me. I'm not gonna say what happened, but it was just like, this show is not what it looks like on the outside.
Al, they just showed. I'm looking at the preview trailer for Sakamoto Days. They showed the clip of him like dodging the bullet with the fat of his chin. Like, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah, that's cool. Both of y'all have been watching some good content for sure.
Good shit.
Sakamoto Days is in my list. I'm basically just waiting for the dub to be completely dubbed before I start watching it, because I know, like, once that gets going, I don't want it to stop until it's done entirely.
And that's the problem when it comes to anime being too good. It's like, damn it.
But also that's
I was gonna say, can we also put some respect on the fact that English dub anime has gotten so much better compared to when we were.
No one can say shit about it now. Like, there used to be a phase where people were shitting on dubs, but now it's like dubs are really good right now.
I would say, like, especially as someone who watched all of OG Duel Monsters, that's still one of my favorite dubs of all time, solely because of Seto Kaiba. Like, period. That man fucking killed that shit. It's just so fucking crazy.
I thought you were about to say because of Joey. I don't know why they decided to give him a Brooklyn accent, but it works.
Fucking,
you're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck.
It's just like he put his soul into that shit, and like I watched all that, including the movie in English. Shit was really good, and I always have a thing where it's like some of the newer anime, like My Hero or Dr. Stone or later seasons of Black Clover. I didn't watch in English, which was fine. Like I think a lot of those I read those, and if I watched it, I watched it in Japanese. But I have a soft spot for the older anime, like Trigun. English was great.
Yeah, that was
Yu Yu Hakusho, English was great. OG Dragon Ball, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, shit was great. Like
so
the
when you
English
start
dub,
going
like
into the more
Inuyasha,
niche
shit was great.
things,
It's the niche things that get kind of weird.
like all the
mainstream-
harems. The harems had very mid voice acting.
varying levels of quality,
Uh-huh.
mileage may vary.
Those slice of lives, like the things that weren't directly airing on TV, like
Yeah.
those things
Fucking
were the ones. that had the weird-
Bobo Ball,
Yeah,
banger ass English.
I'm about to say, look,
Banger.
not only banger English dub, also in my
Top
personal opinion, one of the best like endings of a show. Period.
Bobo was god tier. It was I was crying laughing watching that shit as a kid on Tsunami. It was
Would it
so
be bad to spoil the ending of Opopo since it's been out for about almost
Go
2
for it.
decades
go for
now?
it. I never even knew it
now,
ended.
yeah, I knew it ended, but it was fucking great.
It ended a minute ago, and I still remember watching the ending on Tsunami. And they had made it seem like, okay, Bobo and his squad is getting ready to go up against the Hare Hunters. And like this last ultimate epic, like show, like you know how like at the end of an anime, where they do like the oil painting, like versus screen, like they're getting ready to throw down with each other. So yeah, it just pops up and it says like, oh yeah, by the way, that's the end of the show. What?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's some shit that Bobo would do. And it was I still remember when the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh passed, like a lot of people were showing the Bobo panel where Yami was in his fucking fro. I'm like, shit like that, like the fourth wall breaking shit like that is super fucking funny. Like just referencing the series that it's a part of, like the collection of anime and manga that it's a part of. It was just so fucking funny. Like 11 out of good. That show was gas. I do want to watch it all the way through in English because again, had me on the floor crying. It was so fucking funny.
Hell yeah, brother.
But yeah. TLDR anime is the most successful it's ever been in a long time, which is
Very much
fantastic. A lot of the great anime that's out there right now have like very prominent voice actors that are in a lot of other shit too. So if you like, case in point, if you like Alex Lee in Mashal, you'll like Alex Lee as Luke in Street Fighter. You'll like him in Persona as the protagonist. Like you can kind of follow along with, oh hey, that's this actor. That's this actor.
It's
that's
a much bigger pool of voice actors than it used to be for sure. Because I
Way
remember
bigger.
like I remember it used to be like I know there was like maybe a solid rotation of 5 to 10 different voice actors within 2008 to 2013, or even like from between like 2000 like maybe 5 to 2012, where there was just the Funimation people and it was the same voice actors everywhere. Like they all shared voices. Like if you listen to one person in one show, you're probably gonna hear them in the next thing. So, but now that we have like remote work where people can work from wherever, the pool of hires and voices is a lot more varied than it used to be. So now you're hearing like all sorts of different voices and stuff. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and a lot of these and a lot of the classic voice actors, like they're still being, of course, put into like the big multi-billion dollar roles in games and projects and shit. So that actually makes room for the skilled, smaller time actors to put themselves on a platform and be like, hey, look, this is what I can do. This is what I'm capable of. And then you can hear them in different ranges, which again is fantastic. Again, still circles back around to anime, at least English dub anime is arguably the best it's ever been in a very, very long time. And it's just only going to get better because the newcomers into the industry that are super popular right now are just going to get better with time.
Yeah, Zora, why do you sound like Piccolo?
Don't worry about it.
Let's see here. Let's move on from the binge. I didn't really have too much going on this week. I'm hopping in between things, waiting for I'm honestly just killing time until my turn comes out. I'm game jumping, bro. Like for real. I might end up talking about Freerun in the next like week or two, maybe. We'll see. But other than that, yeah, I've just been just hopping around. So we can move on to the calendar. Mark's not here, but don't worry, I got it, bro. So go ahead and conjure the couch in space, the celestial couch or whatever, and we can go ahead and get on the couch and mark the calendar. Let's do it.
Here we go. I got you. Here we go.
That's the sound we
Okay,
use.
now.
That's the sound to manifest the couch.
Oh
It's
my
here.
god, not the Yoshi's Island sound. Oh my god. All right, so we're gonna get going here. We have a couple. Like the end of February is pretty much where things are starting to kind of take off. So got a couple of releases here. One of which is Tribe 9, which is interesting because it's made by the Danganronpa niggas, and
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this.
it's like a gacha game. Like I've been seeing this,
Another
I've
one.
been seeing ads for this on my Instagram when I'm scrolling through stories, and it's very interesting. I don't really, honestly, I couldn't tell you what the gameplay loop of this game is, but all I know is if you like Danganronpa's voice, Danganronpa style, if you like what things that team can do, honestly, since they finished the Danganronpa trilogy, they've kind of broken the shackles of that, and now they're getting a little bit more creative with what they can do. Like they had that one detective game that came out, and then now they have this, and then I think there's another game that they're working on. What was like a strategy type of game too. That one's gonna be like an actual video game and not a gacha. So
yeah, it's just like there. I love how the with like the animation engine that they're using. It's like, okay, it looks good. They're not beating the Danganronpa allegations. It's like, oh, it's just Danganronpa, but
it's
this
the eyes.
The style
eyes,
is so specific to it. The eyes don't have the same. The eyes and the irises don't have the same details and the same kind of like circular details as they normally do. But it's just like the character design and like the mascot character.
I really do like the art direction of this team, though.
It's good.
It's a good aesthetic. I like it.
Also, Loki said this one is not a gacha, by the way.
Oh, it's not a gacha?
Good. I'm tired of all these gachas. We got too much. Like looking at Arcanite's Enfield. Shout out to fucking friend of the show Min for telling me about that shit. Cause that's like Factorio and the fucking character action game all in once. No, sorry, Satisfactory and a character action game all in once. I'm like, please stop.
Let's see. So yeah, Tribe 9. This one coming up, Die in the Dungeon, is a game that Oh, okay. So we might have. Okay. So clarification. Loggy said not a gacha game, crying emoji face in chat, and we read it as it's not a gacha game. But no, he was like, no, he was more like a not a gacha game.
Oh, not a gacha.
Yeah.
God damn it! We got.
All right, but game that I do actually care about though is Die in the Dungeon, mostly.
David
of
ass
the art
game.
style. The art style pulled me in immediately. There was like basically a demo build of this game that's been out for about a year now, and we're pretty much playing as like a frog rogue character, and you're doing like roguelike stuff, and all your moves and inputs are done by these dice that you roll, and it's like you roll dice onto a board, and you lock in certain numbers for like attacks, and you can also get certain buffs and everything for like the amount of damage and health you get based on the type of dice that you roll. It's like you're rolling 4-sided dice, 6-sided die, like pretty much anything you could get in a dice bag, you're rolling that type of dice. So it's very unique that you're not rolling like 6 all the time. And also just the sprite work on this game is fucking cute.
Again, like this sprite work alone, that's David as fuck. When I saw this game, I think when Mark and I talked about this game when the demo first came out, I'm like, oh, aesthetic wise, David ass game. Gameplay wise, I could see him sit down and give it a shot for a couple hours.
Yeah.
But like this is I think this will definitely. It looks interesting. I could see you stream this or get.
I would have this locked in all the time on my like ROG Ally or Steam Deck as like a game I could just jump into and do a quick run of. I like this a lot. So yeah, David ass game. Gonna send an email. Let's see.
And it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
tomorrow.
Be ready.
Next one here, Ninja 5-0. This one is a game that I just heard about, but it looks like a cool retro-styled action platformer. You're playing as a ninja that is also like a cop, I guess, and looks really retro, like arcadey, like 80s arcade type of run and jump thing. It's Konami published.
Oh, Konami published? Oh shit! I would say it's giving OG Ninja Gaiden, and that's
exactly what it's
coming from. And honestly, this sounds like it could have been a fucking 90s movie, like where we had fucking Beverly Hills Ninja. Like this will be a sequel, fucking Ninja 5-0. And honestly, I'm cool with it. Like, I definitely appreciate how we're kind of, for games like this, they're able to lean back into the old school aesthetics. This is the most fake ass SNES game ever because the SNES is not able to handle
Yeah.
all the sprite work and cutscenes. But this looks pretty.
would
cool.
Kind
that
of gives like
attitude.
Sega Genesis game.
It's giving Sega Genesis for sure.
Let's see what else would we have here. Oh, this was
Also heard it out,
this
not
was
what I had.
something for yo ass and also Mark. That you already know what I'm about to say. Yo ho ho, yar har, fiddly dee, pirate life for me. Freaking
Yes.
like a dragon
My-
pirate game.
Yes, sir.
What
Yeah,
in
me
the
ass
hell?
game. I will take over on that. 'Cause I know everything that you need to know.
Okay.
So
Like a
TLDR. Shut up. TLDR. Like a Pirate, the man who forgot his name is the spinoff for Majima, because Kiryu had his with the man who erased his name, and that was a whole sad affair. And then this one is for Majima, similar situation, has amnesia, washed up on the shore of Hawaii, just outside of Hawaii. So I'm saying this probably takes place either before 8 or after 8. Again, these games, they have like a weird kind of halfway point. They're like 0.5 games. Now, what's interesting is that they made this game a lot longer than the previous one. The previous one was probably maybe 20 hours. This is like 25, 30 hours. Now, what's been gotten my attention for this game is multiple things. First and foremost, a Majima standalone game. You don't get a chance to play as Majima standalone unless you're playing Yakuza 0 or Yakuza Kiwami 2. Second thing, with this game, this is you get to get more. The Yakuza world is fleshed out because this is canon to the entire Yakuza timeline. So I know how Kiryu. I have an idea how Kiryu's story ends. I want to know how this story ends. I want to see what happens with Majima at this point. The third thing, which is fucking insane, they have fucking Black Flag style ship battles. This is Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but in Yakuza.
Yeah, or
Dead
like,
ass.
yeah, Assassin's
It's
Creed,
like-
Black Flag, Skull and Bones ass ship
Yes.
combat.
And
But
it-
also
and
looks
it
like there's an
fun.
engine on the back of the ship, and you can drift the ship.
Yep.
Fucking
it's,
crazy.
It's so clown shoes. It's so bonkers. I am here for this. The combat has me fucking bricked because you got fucking air combos. Kiryu cannot air combo. Ichiban cannot air combo. Majima can. So it's like, oh, like those shadow clones. Oh, he just does that for real.
That's
He's
so
just
wild.
like that. It's so fucking crazy. And like, if you could play Animal Crossing in Yakuza 8, you get to play Skull and Bones in Yakuza fucking 8.5. I'm not kidding. There's an entire Animal Crossing like
No,
game
yeah, I remember
in
that, yeah.
Yakuza 8. So
Whole
Al,
sub-game in the
don't play
game.
that game. Don't play that game.
Like a Dragon has become like the game. It used to be Kingdom Hearts. It is now Like a Dragon, where I'm just like Yakuza. I will never understand. It is too late to jump into this franchise.
So-
There's too much homework that needs to be done.
So it's too late and not too late. So if you want to jump in, realistically, if you don't care about the context getting up to it, you could start at 7. Because 7 is a brand new story that takes place in that same universe. The torch is being passed
Mhm.
to a new character. Now, best leave also, I'm playing this in English because the English dub for this game, going back to English dubbing for a
Those are
second,
pretty good.
really good. George Takei and Yakuza 7, fantastic. Ichiban's voice actor, fan-fucking-tastic. Not Mark Hamill. Matt Mercer as Majima, pretty fucking good.
Mhm.
So that, and then going off of that, this game is honest. I'm mad because I am behind because I had to do a whole Yakuza grind. I last played Ishin. I have to jump back in. This and Yakuza 8 are on my backlog. That is going to take me a while because that is a long game because it's an RPG. But I'm looking forward to playing this. Like I said, but past that point, this game came out early. Fun fact, because Monster Hunter is coming out next week, and Sega was like, "Hey, y'all motherfuckers want to play Monster
First
Hunter?
time we
You
saw
wanna
a
play
game
Monster
move
Hunter?"
up.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen a game move up, and I'm like, "This is perfect." What's up, Al?
Wait, so I just saw about one of these characters. I don't know if you know the wrestler Samoa Joe.
Samoa
One
Joe,
of the
he's there. He's just there.
That is him.
That's Samoa Joe. He's just like, listen, Al. If they can pull George Takei, Danny Trejo, they can pull Samoa Joe.
Mhm.
Why not? Who else could they be there? I don't know. I haven't played 8. There's someone there in the side quest that's famous. Who fucking knows? And if they come, and if Ichiban comes to America, Who else are they
Gonna
gonna
get
fucking
Kevin
pull?
Hart.
I'll
Oh
be
my
so
God.
mad. I'll be so fucking pissed. I'll be like Sega, y'all fucking up. Y'all fucking up. But that being said, I think this game does drop tomorrow. So definitely, if you're a fan of the Yakuza series like me, and you want to check out some Yarhar fiddledy bullshit, this is the game. If you really want to know more about Yakuza, honestly, I think I might do a video talking about it. We'll see. Who knows?
Oh, that's a good hefty video essay.
Yeah, but it's a lot. I'm emotionally invested into this franchise because I started from 0. People will argue, oh, you got to play 1, then 0. I'm like, no, I'm playing 0 because it plays better and it literally funnels into 1, 2, 3, etc. The story is not that hard to follow. Do not use the Netflix show as a guide because Amazon show as a guide because that shit is ass. There's a really great story overall for this franchise. And like I mentioned, like if it's not unlike Kingdom Hearts, it's not convoluted as shit. It's A to Z, and then there's a bunch of shit that happens in between. Versus Kingdom Hearts is A squared minus Y to the 3rd power. What? That's what Kingdom Hearts is. So this game good, play it good. I'll probably be getting this game hopefully by end of the year because I already got Monster Hunter next week, Doom in a couple months. Probably Hades
Good
too.
time to be a gamer.
I'm so fucking tired.
Yeah.
Great time, but terrible time to be a gamer.
Yeah, just because they're bringing fucking Glover back. That's like the main reason, to be honest. Like
David ass game.
Nah, dude, no, hold up, no. So I owned Glover on N64, not because I chose to own Glover, but because Glover appeared in my home. Do you understand?
Glover chose you.
Glover chose me. I did not fucking want Glover. Not saying that Glover isn't a character that is designed to where I would be drawn to Glover, but that game is hard as shit, dude. Like Glover, no one likes Glover because Glover's a good game. People like Glover because Glover looks good as an idea for a video game.
But it's a great concept.
It's a great concept. You're playing as a magical hand that is pushing around a magical ball to destroy another evil glove that took over a kingdom by pushing a wizard into a well, and then the evil glove basically took over the world and made it evil. So now you're the good glove trying to basically guide these 6 magical crystals, which you turned into balls, so they don't break, to navigate them to these parts on like a well so you can stop the evil magic from corrupting the world. It's very interesting, but it's basically a physics-based 3D platformer because Glover runs around like a 3D platformer character, a la like Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, Rayman, stuff like that. But then he has to control this ball, and then by controlling the ball, you're basically rolling around a rubber ball, or you can also turn the ball into a bowling ball, so it's heavy, a little like, I guess, metal ball, which also can like float or just be really light, and then also you can turn it into the gemstone, which is dumb because you don't need to do that, because if you dribble it in gemstone form, you'll shatter the fucking crystal. So you can immediately end a level by turning it into the gemstone and dribbling it. If you lose the ball, you lose a life. If the ball gets damaged, you lose a life. It's very and also Glover has his own life. This game is a streamer game because it is so ragey. You understand? Like, if you want good content, watch somebody stream Glover for the first time. This game's fucking ridiculous.
I think for like a half a second, because I had rented it from Blockbuster, which again dates this game. I rented it for Blockbuster on the N64, and did not, for the God of me, understand anything about
it. And it doesn't explain anything, bro. Like, you'll just be wandering around aimlessly, and like the first level, I didn't beat the first level until 5 years after I owned the game, because I was so young when I first got it. I didn't understand what the hell was going on or what I needed to do, and then I had to get older. As I've aged, I've understood how to play Glover over time. Now I'm at the age where I could actually probably beat Glover, but it's still a hard fucking game. Fuck Glover, bro. Anyway,
I love how this game is like deceptively evil.
It is. It's very evil.
I saw like. I remember when I had first played, because I know there was the original Smash Brothers that was on the N64, but then the first one I actually got into was Smash Brothers Melee. So when I saw
Wow.
Master Hand, my brain went to,
Oh, you thought it was Glover.
that's the glove thing.
Could you imagine if Glover was Master Hand? He
Fucking
might as
wild,
well
dude.
be.
But yeah, that comes out basically ported
week.
up to everything on the 27th, and it's like they didn't even take the time. They just literally got the file again. That's they didn't even.
I mean, honestly,
they didn't
got
even
the
remake
got
it
the
from the
source code.
ground up.
They got the source code and said, and just
Literally,
dropped it.
dude, and they're making it such a big deal. But they have really cool stuff for like the limited run release. But yeah.
I would think that
you'll have to
like,
you'll have to pay me in content dollars to make me play Glover again. God damn it! That's like I said, rage game.
Deceptively evil Glover. That's the tagline. Glover. It's deceptively evil.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of deceptively evil, PGA Tour 2K25 King.
Evil.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to go ahead and touch on that one. So yes, so there's the new PGA game that's coming out by 2K Interactive Studios, otherwise known as 2K. But yes, there's 2K 2K25 PGA is that's actually
I can't wait to get this from my dad.
yeah. So believe it or not, I've kind of been on the 2K bandwagon for a while. I've popped off, came back onto this one because apparently my career and everything for this one is actually pretty good, and overall the overall gameplay is actually good. They did have an open beta a couple weeks ago that they was actually pushing really really hard. I was seeing the open beta for this, like I was seeing TikTok ads for the beta, and apparently it was actually really really good. Looking at some of the reviews online, Reddit, people said that this was actually a pretty good one. The last PGA 2K game I played was 2K23. Just played it for a second just so I can actually see how it was. And it was pretty fun, but apparently they said they take this to a whole different level. So if I'm not mistaken, this one's actually out on this is gonna be on I think Steam,
Steam, Xbox, PlayStation.
Yeah, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation.
That's
And
nice.
I think that they're going to be bringing it. They're going to be trying to. No guarantee.
Switch 2, maybe.
Switch,
We'll
good
see.
luck. You know what's funny, Al? Like the sentence that throws me off. Open beta for a sports game. It's like
they're trying to get it right, I guess.
Normally it's just a demo or it's just out. There's
That's
no
the thing, like,
open beta, which is smart.
Don't even give them demos anymore.
Yeah, which is smart in the sense that, like, case in point, look at NCAA football. Like, that game did so well. Like, especially like while I got robbed for like best sports game. It did so well in beta form. I'm like, oh, I guess that's a successful model. Like, release the game in beta, tweak it. Yeah, release the game in beta because like people wanted NCAA for decades because the transition of I could take my college kid and put him in the NFL and then work his stats there. Like, that's a pipe dream. I don't know. Like, again, licensing thing and like the likeness agreement and all that shit. That was a whole mess. But past that point, it's definitely fascinating to see this game come back. To this day, I will still swear that Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003 on the PS2 was one of my favorite golf games, and I still have a copy. Hence why I know that game specifically. I played that shit a lot as a kid.
I know this one's a pull for it to be an arcadey type of golf game. Honestly, I still say when I was on the GameCube, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour was a lot of fun.
Another game that was underrated for a golf game, Hot Shots Golf on the PSP.
Yeah.
That game was really fun. That game was like, it was pretty solid. It was pretty goofy and campy. Again, I was a little too young to play it because it was like, I also played it, I enjoyed it, but a lot of the humor was like, okay, kind of like Seinfeld level to a degree, but it was still a charming, arcadey, different take on a golf game. Yeah. And to the point, they fucking put Kratos in one of the games. Like, all right, sure, the angriest man on the face of the planet is playing golf. All right.
Yes, but yeah, PGA 2K25. I'm actually can't believe I'm about to say this, but 2K might just hook me on another sports game.
What's funny is that when Al mentioned this before we started the show, we were like, "Oh boy, they got you on basketball, didn't you? They got the black man to play basketball." No, they got him in golf. I was like, "Oh, okay, surprising, pleasant even."
They'll get his dollars one way or another.
If anything, if my old man still has his Xbox, which I don't think he does. If he does, I think he has like an OG Xbox One, like first gen, like 2013. If he somehow has a new Xbox, I'm probably gonna buy him this for like Father's Day because I'm like, hey, look,
Mm-hmm.
you love playing golf. You used to play a lot when I was younger, and you used to play a lot when you had some time for video games. So here you go. Here's Tiger Woods PGA Tour. Go get him, champ.
Go get him, champ.
Go get him, champ.
Are you winning, Dad?
Are you? I'm gonna check in on him. Hey, are you winning, Dad?
Actually, I will say
I just went 5 under par. He's winning.
quick side note as to why 2K has also continuously been staying popular. In general, is because of the fact I remember back in NBA 2K10, that was one of the first times they introduced, before it switched to my career, it used to be just called My Player. So that's when they had first introduced My Player, like the single player career mode, and then they just kept adding on to it, and it just started getting more and more popular.
Yeah.
And now there's like, I think 45% of the people that they end up polling plays My Career almost exclusively versus like the other franchise mode.
Because like it's like really the only like genuine coherent single player mode for a sports game, because a sports game single player doesn't necessarily a single player sports game like a campaign doesn't necessarily exist outside of My Career. Because sure, you have the franchise mode where you're going through the season, on season, off season, preseason, postseason. But having your and like of course, sure, you have the franchise mode, you make your character, but it's something about My Career that adds a more personal touch to it. And no, I'm not talking the terrible voice acting from the NBA games, from the Spike Lee joint. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm talking about the fact that it feels like a much more immersive and investive experience. Like, case in point, it's akin to the wrestler career modes from way back in the day, Al. From like SmackDown versus Raw, WWE, Day of Reckoning, with those fire ass games, because you were part of the magic. You were part of what makes that show or that sport or that competition. You were actively taking part in what makes that exciting, and that's what people really want. Like, sure, I'll spend because think about it, Al. Do you want to spend $70 on a game that you'll probably play with either like your siblings or other friends that come over a couple times a month and maybe play some online matches a couple times a month at best? Or do you want to spend $70 on a game that you can get your return on investment? I'm not talking buying the fucking the shit coins and the credits. I'm talking about investing into your character, investing into the career, and vicariously living through that avatar. It's a fantasy.
I'd much rather do that.
And there you go. And the recipe works.
I have a whole. We'll continue because I can go on a rabbit hole about that.
You gotta make a video essay on like how like 2K games just get me every time,
and how they got your ass every time.
Just do it.
Yep.
Honestly.
Let's see. Next up here, we have a game that I remember Mark brought this up a couple weeks ago, I think, or saying that he was in a playtest for it, called Spectre Divide. Apparently, this game is going to be coming out on Season 1 the next couple days.
Oh, yeah,
here. It looks like it is a fast-paced PvP, team-based tactical shooter, but it's like it has high movement and interesting abilities and stuff like that, too. It's just another game like if you're into Valorant, if you're into Counter-Strike and stuff, only you like the more fast-paced action version of it, I guess. This is just another one of those type of games.
Yeah, and I think the gimmick is that you can jump between bodies as well, too. So that's definitely an interesting mechanic. But yeah, though, this is one of those tac shooters, and there's a lot of them out there now. Like we got CS:GO, we got Valorant,
established in a genre.
We got Fortnite Ballistic Mode. I think the only major company that has not cashed in on this is if you want to be technical, COD. But then again, that's what Search and Destroy is for. But even then, technically speaking, it's still more arcadey. This is way more tactical. Rainbow Six, or at least Rainbow Six would definitely benefit for something like this as well too. That is like one of the most popular attack shooters out there, next to CS:GO. But it is good. Oh, also we got Fragpunk as well, an arcadey, ability based or environmental based.
Basically, friends versus friends if they had a fucking evergreen budget.
Yep.
Let's see.
Still good though.
Yep. Next game here before the big thing, we got Omega 6 the Triangle Stars, which looks like a game that is kind of retro-inspired visual novel, I guess kind of Earthbound-like as well, kind of like that. You're playing as the characters and you fight enemies in like a first-person thing where they're like in front of you and you have the text box on the bottom of
Yeah.
the screen, things
It,
like
it,
that.
yeah, it feels like Earth. Yeah, it feels like Earthbound RPG
Earthbound,
meets
Undertale-ish, you know.
like 80s sci-fi comic book hero type shit.
Yeah, very interesting. If you like that
I
type of
respect it.
vibe, weird ass characters, good writing, definitely is going to be up your alley in that regard for
Yeah,
sure.
give me straight up Windows 98 vibes.
Hmm
No, for real. I definitely respect it. This will be this could if you squint, it could have been like a TV show at some point.
hmm And then the game that is going to be in the GOTY conversation, without a doubt, it's going to be on everyone's conversation throughout the rest of the year. Monster Hunter Wilds finally drops in the next 7 days here. Cannot wait. Monster Hunter Wilds
Honestly,
is...
I was expecting to make a bit out of this. I was expecting to swap this with Glover.
it's Glover. But yeah.
I really hate that I played the beta for a good reason. No,
Because you're like,
let
I
me
gotta buy the
explain.
game.
Damn it out.
Yeah, that's because I have been purposely like I have not played any Monster Hunter up until the beta. I'm like, okay, I'm going into blind. I don't know nothing about nothing. The only thing I know about this game is you have to sharpen your blade. That's all I know. Then I went to play the beta. I'm like, oh, this is fun. Crap, this is fun.
Yeah, and we were
Okay, I'm really spending 40 minutes trying to hunt down this one monster. Am I really that committed to it? Yes, I am.
Congratulations, Al. Welcome to the club. Because this is a game that we've been all waiting for, especially since the last beta with crossplay available in the beta. That was a big deal. Like knowing that we have crossplay now is a ginormous deal. With how David, Gina and I were talking about this yesterday. Shout out to Gina Miko, friend of the channel, and we have the YouTube up on the comment channel talking about our hype for Monster Hunter. This is really the game to play. This is really the game to jump into. It's going to make Capcom another shit zillion dollars, but realistically here, this one is really the one to jump into because you have so much accessibility with how the weapons work, how the environment works, and crossplay being a big deal. So that way you don't have to spend $60 or $70. Well, it's like a $70 game, $70 a pop per console. Just buy the one, logging with your Capcom account, like how you do for Street Fighter. That's really it. It's just a friend code dealio. Like I mentioned in the video, the one downside is just navigating the menus to set up a party. But once you get that down, this game is going to be game of the year.
It's gonna be up there, dude.
It's going to be
the amount of time I've spent running around the plains, the one area in that beta, and I'm like, man, when I'm able to actually farm these monsters for stuff and actually hunt and like gather, and it's actually being saved progress.
Yeah.
Like, man, this game is gonna be. This is probably gonna be a game that takes a lot of my time throughout this year, and it's gonna be gonna be up there, dude. I can't wait.
This game, if this game does not get GOTY, I will be very angry.
It's gonna be up there because like Switch 2 still needs to show whatever they're working on, but this is gonna be like number 2, if not number 1. And this is gonna be top 3 games of the year. There's 5 nominations in Game of the Year. This is gonna be top 3. I guarantee.
So as a heads up, as of 2024, Monster Hunter, as of last year, end of last year, Monster Hunter World has sold 21.3 million copies.
Damn.
And then overall, like the Iceborne edition, where it has everything, surpassed 28.1 million copies.
Yeah,
remind you, this game came out in 2018. This game is almost a decade old, and it sold that well because of how well it brought people in. Like, you remember that fucking craze where, like, yeah, sure, we had the shitty Monster Hunter movie, but you know what that did? Brought in like 1 million more people. And this is, and it still holds up very well. Like, arguably one of my favorite action games of all time for sure. And we were mentioned like on a couple of the streams as well. Monster Hunter Wilds, like a Monster Hunter World, still holds up. Like, it's using the old MT framework engine, which is old as shit, and then Rise and later have used the RE engine. that old engine still looks good. It still runs pretty good, and it still feels pretty fucking good for a game that's like getting very old at this point. I still recommend it. Like 7 years old, it's still worth it. Like $10, it's worth it.
And I would say like the thing is when they come down to like this to this game as well, that's a really again, this coming from a person, like I said, I have never ever played a Monster
Mhm.
Hunter. It is actually not like it's okay. I will say one of the first fights the game put you into, at least for this for the open beta, was a definite it was a definite learning curve.
Uh-huh.
That very first fight. But I will say that it's not as complicated as I thought it was going to be. Like,
You know,
it is
he's
like it's time consuming. It does say dedication to a hunt, but it's definitely not as intimidating as I thought it was going to be.
yeah, like the curve has gotten less steep. Like playing as like I mentioned in the
A
video,
lot less steep. Yeah.
playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, that curve was a 90-degree angle. That shit was a wall. Now, as I've been playing over the years, that wall has gotten less and less, has gotten more and more shallow to the point where this is an actual curve. Yeah, sure. The jump from low rank to high rank is pretty steep. It's like, but then you get once you climb that wall, you're good.
Back in
And
my
same thing
day,
with
you
Master
had
Rank.
to pick flowers and mushrooms for an hour before you fought one monster
Or even you got to pick flowers and mushrooms and
and
your
deliver an
gathering-
egg.
And your gathering materials can break. Your pickaxe can break.
Mhm.
Your bug net can break.
Yeah.
You had to buy bait.
It was
to
dog
get
shit,
big certain
dude.
fish.
It was
I didn't know I was playing Animal
was
Crossing.
there
primitive.
was a lot
was
that went.
primitive.
There was a lot more survival aspects that went into it before they just went full tilt. Let's just let the players play the goddamn game. They have to ask themselves, is this fun actually?
Yes.
And then they took all of that monotony out and then just made it. Let's let the players just fight shit, bro. And this is
shit.
and it's just gotten so much smoother over the
Yeah,
years.
I can't.
This game's gonna be peak. This is gonna be
game's gonna
a
be peak.
community game for
Guaranteed.
a long time because we have that lobby system where we can all just be in a lobby. We don't even have to be hunting together. We can just be in the world together. And I think that's gonna be so good for this game.
Yeah, so if you guys ever want to take part in the community, definitely be sure to follow us. Be sure to follow us on our socials, and of course, if you're in the Discord. First of all, shout out to y'all, love y'all.
Mhm.
Secondly, definitely we'll be seeing you in the wilds as we fuck around and find out. Because again, this is going to be a regular thing. I'm likely going to set up because I have been doing my journey to the wild streams for almost about a month. I had to take a couple breaks because times shit's been happening, but I'm gonna pick that back up and make that a routine thing because again, this game is amazing. I really want people to play it because I genuinely love Monster Hunter, and seeing Al come in and be like, "Oh shit, I'm hooked, I'm cooked." That's it. That's all I want to hear. Like that's good news. And seeing another friend of the show, Connor, he wants to get into it too. He pre-ordered it and he wants to learn about it. He's never played Monster Hunter as well. There are a lot of people, myself included, that are more than happy to help give you the knowledge you need, teach you the skills that you need to survive, so that way we can get you through. Because we're all learning, especially since it's a brand new Monster Hunter, we're all learning this shit together. Some people, if you have experience like myself or Chaosifies or Mark or Loggy, if you have experience, that helps. But there are still new mechanics that we have to master. So again, we're on the same playing field. I just know the fundamentals of pretty much all the weapons a lot more than Al does because he just got in. But it doesn't mean that he's inferior. That means that hey, he's new to this shit. I'm still new to this shit because this is new stuff. Let's learn together. Let's cooperate. Let's build and let's kick some ass.
Hell yeah! Cannot fucking wait, dude. It's
It
gonna
is.
be great. Gonna be
Game of
like
the year.
it's probably gonna be an all-day stream thing. It might just we're probably actually realistically we're probably gonna cancel like shows next week. We're just gonna be playing. We're just gonna play Monster Hunter next week. There's no show next week. We're just playing Monster Hunter. I'm saying that because I probably will have my code before they do, and I will just be playing Monster Hunter. So we are not having show next month. Next week.
Next Thursday, I supposed to be in the commentary podcast. It's gonna be the Hunter and Holloman
Hunted and
hollering.
Hunted and hollering.
Hunted and hollering. Let's go.
That's good.
Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna
Make the
write that
logo.
down.
That's good.
I'm gonna make that a logo. That's gonna
Make
be
the
good.
logo. That's good. Hey, hunting and hollering. Yeah, because it's like hooting and hollering, but hunting and hollering. That's good.
Hunting and hollering. Let's go.
Oh, that's damn
That's
good. That's
follow us on our
good.
socials. You'll see some dope shit. It's gonna
Hunting
be
and
great.
hollering, bro.
Hunting and
That's
hollering.
so good. The sacred. Oh my god.
Fucking
Oh,
hunting
Jesus.
hunting and hollering. Yeah.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, that's
Shenanigans.
good. That's good. We found it.
That's
We
a
found the
good
name.
one.
Oh man, that's marketable. Okay, so speaking of marketable, that is the mark your calendar. Oh, your calendars have been marked. Your calendars have been marked. Get off the couch.
Get off the fucking couch. We got shit to do. We're gonna hit him with the old got it. Next.
You actually want to call a quick break there because I do have to.
Yeah, let's take a quick fiver here. Gut up, stretch, get some water, get some snacks, and stretch your muscles. We'll be back in about 5 minutes or so here to continue with the show. We'll BRB. Bye.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Mic's open. All right, cool. Welcome back to the Commentary Podcast. We have returned from break. Hope everyone got a nice little stretchy stretch in. Got some water.
Hooray!
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 Let's see. And then let's get back into it. But one thing I do want to bring up here for everyone who is still listening, got through halfway through the show, we appreciate y'all for being here, appreciate y'all for listening, and whether you're listening live or in post over on YouTube or anything that you're listening, definitely support. The support of the show is very much appreciated in all regards. So if you're here and for some reason you're not following us on our social platforms, we're going to hashtag shameless plug ourselves real quick here. Let's see. So, boom, there we go. Follow us on Blue Sky. We're on Blue Sky, ConMenRDW.bsky.social, or just ConMenRDW on Blue Sky.
Definitely send your skeets our way.
Yes, definitely follow us for the good skeets and re-skeets and all that other stuff here. We have some highlights that are starting to go up, like social post, portrait-sized posts that I'm trying to just get up there. Pretty much we end up following people that are guests on the show, so anyone that we're following is definitely worth following yourself. Honestly, I should start up a starter pack. Duh. I should make a ConMentary. Oh, I already did one. I just gotta add the names onto it. So yeah. I gotta add people into the starter packs, and then anyone that we're following or anyone that we have in there as special guests, definitely follow them because they're awesome people as well. Like we had Black Mastodonchi on here last week, and then the week before that, we had Conterez. Oh no, we had Tariq. We had Tarek.
We had Tariq, and we had Tarek, and we had Conterez.
Yeah,
we had people on here.
Had a couple people on here.
Yeah, and many people more. Especially if you want to be a part of the show, feel free to follow us. We have the link available.
Yes, definitely. And then also, speaking of following us, Brendan, aka AG Back Tech, he has a SoundCloud where you can go and follow him because he makes beats. He's making beats in the cave. Go and listen to his most recent releases, Maple Leaves Inspiration, and also his full album Express Line and Inner Dialogue EP that are on there. Really good listens if you just want like some lo-fi beats to study to or edit to.
Maple Leaves is still arguably one of my favorites just to have in the background, just because it's just the most chill part. Like, just to toot my own horn for a second, while it's not the best song I've ever made, because I made a lot so far, one of my favorites just because I could just have that on loop for hours, working, studying, just this. That's the vibe I'm going for. Like, fucking beats in the cave you can listen to while I'm in your walls. So that's just what I do. And just your support is greatly appreciated. I have a couple more tracks I've been working on, and I've been experimenting even more still. So definitely give me a follow. And like I mentioned before, if you follow me on Blue Sky and if you follow me on Instagram, I have, and then eventually I'm gonna have these up on YouTube. I want to say hopefully by the weekend. I have previews going up. So if you like what you hear, give me a follow on those platforms as well, and scoot your butt over to fucking SoundCloud because that's where the whole track is available. And for anyone in the ConMen crew that you follow regularly, be it either myself, David, Mark, Al, or even Brian, aka Untold Plot Twist, your mom's favorite light skin, my music is featured on their channels as well. So if you like what you're hearing there, guess what? They're made by me. So yeah, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys. Love you.
He has currently 5 followers over there, so let's get him to 10. Let's double it.
Let's go to 10.
Hell yeah, brother.
DJ Monkey, we got the best ook music.
DJ music.
And then also in terms of just other ways you can support us other than just following, which is always free, definitely we would also appreciate it if you go ahead and follow us. And also just subscribe to us if you can willingly do that. So onto Patreon, we have multiple tiers that we're trying to get established here where you can have your name in the credits on content for us supporting ConMenRDW, basically helping us make our passions our priority, where we can have some type of financial stability by doing what we're doing. I know there's 4 of us, but I guarantee pretty much if you're going to support us, everyone's going to get a little bit of this, or you're going to notice this going into our content in some way or fashion. We have 3 different tiers. One is the $3 McChicken tier. One is a $5 hot and ready tier. One is an $8 cave credits tier. Another one is a $10 cave paintings tier. Cave paintings, if you send us a digital image, we will put that onto a digital iteration of the cave, which you will have your cave painting shown there. Cave credits, your credits will be basically immortalized onto a digital rendition of the cave, which will be shown on stream, so you are shown that you are supporting the show for everyone who is watching. Hot and ready tier, basically your name will be written in golden Sharpie on a hot and ready pizza box for all to see on social media platforms. And then also same thing with McChicken, your name will be written on a McChicken wrapper in gold highlight and gold Sharpie for everyone on the internet to know that you are feeding us with your supporting dollars. So definitely go through. Yeah, dude. Like the thing that all content creators need is food, and your money can definitely help us be supported. Where that is one thing we don't have to worry about is just doing something like that. So definitely, if you have any little bit of money that you want to help to support us, Patreon is definitely one of those places. 3, 5, 8, 10. Or if you want to give us just a different way to support us as well, we also have coffee. We have all the doors open. Coffee over there. Buy us a coffee. Get other updates through there as well.
You know what? And speaking of coffee, I might fuck around and be like, all right, I'm gonna make some fucking latte art. Let's see what works.
Yeah, dude.
I'm learning shit by the minute.
We want to be supported to be able to do unique stuff, and that would be only helpful if you guys support us financially in some type of monetary way. Shares and likes and follows are appreciated, but also money is even better.
If I can draw RDW and latte art, that'd be fucking baller.
Jeez.
So that is enough shilling. Back to the show.
Yeah,
so now we are going to kick it over to the box seats and dive onto the court with the king.
So I guess that means it's my turn. So let me go ahead and hit you with this one. All right, guys. Welcome to the King Square, where I bring you the latest news in sports, esports, motorsports, all sports. And this week I have some sports news for you. Starting off first and foremost is we're going to be heading over to the NBA with the Apple Vision Pro. They actually got this new feature, augmented reality feature, where you can actually see the game in real time on a top-down view of the court if you have the Apple Pro. And I did look at the quick demo on this, and it actually looks pretty darn good. So you can actually see it. It's not just like, okay, it's not like a little animated, like couple frames per second. No, this actually looks like you're watching a game IRL, top down, full movements and all, full body contusions and all, as they're going for these different plays, the different passes. Jesus Christ, I'm also watching the USA Canada game where somebody got clocked, but I'll be talking about that one in a minute. So it's actually really cool because you actually go about seeing the box scores for the game. You can also go about seeing the player scores, their assists, the rebounds, and so forth. Basically like a full box score sheet that you can actually end up seeing. But you can also go about seeing how this game is playing out in real time.
That's so crazy,
you can actually zoom in.
No, it's amazing.
It's like God mode.
If for real.
It's like you would think like this is like a video game, the way this looks like it, because you see the player, it puts over like who has the ball, it highlights under them like in 2K who currently is like the one that has the ball, and it puts the name over their head, letting you know the name of the player who's doing it. For those who can't quite see the names on the back of the jerseys, but to be honest, that is small. But this is actually so cool. And what's even more on top of this is you not only see where the players are on the court, how they're passing, who it is, you're also seeing where the referees are. But one thing I really, really like about this that I can actually see by being implemented on multiple stages is the opportunity for this to go about being done for coaching for different players.
Oh, that'd be so amazing.
To have this type of perspective like this, be able to see how different plays are set up and ran and how it's actually dished out, whether it's going into the post, going out to the 3-point. This is actually a really good way to go about seeing it because you can actually see the professional players do this in real time, but you also go about seeing how they go about setting these plays up. It is such a good tool, and it's actually such a cool feature tool for people to go about seeing it. So you do need to have the Apple Vision Pro, but you also need to go about have the NBA League to go about checking this out.
So what? It's like a smooth 2000 to just even get the opportunity to see this.
Yeah, basically. Now, I will say, Al, I do want to see this implemented in other sports, like for football.
Absolutely.
Watching the tapes, like if we had tapes like this when we played, we would have been infinitely better.
I kid you not. If they did something like this for the for football, I would low key, if I can afford it, I would low key chill out for this because I would see such a cool thing to go. Again, like just watching on this, and not the thing that's really cool with it is it's not like when it comes down to a lot of Apple Vision stuff,
Yeah.
as our resident tech man can tell. The thing is like it's stagnant as to where it is, so you can move in, you can actually get close and see what's happening. You can basically be like the god in the sky looking down on the court
Yeah.
and seeing what's actively happening. This is such a cool thing that they actually go about implementing this. I don't know how they actually get like the way they're doing it. I don't know if like
It's a lot
each
of it.
court
It's
they have
a
a
lot.
thing.
A lot of it's like the different cameras that they have in there, and they probably have a camera that's scanning via motion tracking and using AI to render this in real time. Like that is a stretch, but follow me. I think that's what they're doing, and this is the good shit that AI can do. Is cool fucking stuff like this to make a in real time simulation of what's happening on the court. Yeah, sure, it may not be 100% accurate because that will require the players to wear fucking motion trackers and a bunch of other bullshit. But
Mhm.
for a simplified representation of what's happening in the game, dude, that's fucking sick.
This is insane.
At best, the next best thing you could probably do to this would be, oh boy, this is a follow me here. This kind of goes to the cave a little bit. Do either of you guys, have you guys heard of the Microsoft HoloLens project?
Yeah, I recall.
Like I heard it, yeah.
So two things. First thing, that got canceled.
Yeah.
That's just dead. Second thing, one thing, it was a demo that I've been infatuated with, where they had like a table and it had a hologram of like a mountain in Minecraft. And then what
I
they did
remember
was I
that,
think they
yeah.
used a controller to move into the mountain and it revealed the insides of the mountain. So what I'm getting at here is that if you can incorporate this kind of tech, it'll probably still be expensive as hell, but it will be an amazing centerpiece in your living room and an amazing conversation starter, especially in your man cave, having a big ass fucking shatterproof or shatter resistant glass table to have the game overlaid on in like a holographic or augmented reality. This is what it is, an augmented reality display that you can watch. It's probably just be realistically probably be an enclosure, but you get the idea. A big ass AR table where whatever sport supports it, you can just have that data going in real time. It could be something as simple as like, all right, chess pieces moving on a board. Like the different symbols. You got the X's for the offense and the O's for the defense. Sorry, other way around. You have the offense and the defense shuffling around, and you can see, oh, this is happening. This is happening. So you can kind of get a general idea, similar to. I'm not sure if you brought this up in the courts, the box seats here, but about that blind man who was able to perceive the game on that board
Oh
in
yeah,
real
right.
time.
That came up.
Like
Yeah, that came up last week.
it's
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's like it's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, so they have been actually becoming a lot more accessible. To actually touch on that because we talked about it, but I actually did not. Um, they actually have it where at certain stadiums they actually have it where for those who are visually impaired, they actually have like a little item that you can hold, and you actually kind of feel it vibrates and it moves. Like you can basically feel where the ball is, and it
I think
actually
they did
gives
it
you
for. I
update
think they
like
did it
up
for
to date
baseball
score.
and soccer as well. I think.
Like it's really cool the fact like how much further this has gone because they said they normally end up having to have somebody come with them in the game to basically tell them what's the score, what's going on. But this basically that tool tells them how that works. And this right here for this with the Apple Vision, what they're doing with this is honestly I would darn near say this is revolution.
This is out of
Because for
smart.
this
This
to be
is
happening like
out of like
dope.
fucking smart house type shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's super cool. Oh no,
Yeah.
smart house fucking Star Trek type shit.
Mhm.
Also, another thing I always love mentioning this, and I know Al, you know, I know I talked to you about this, but the college, I keep forgetting the college, but the college where it has like the deaf players and they have a heads up display in their helmets to see the plays, like that's just so cool. That's so
Yeah.
amazing. Like that's accessibility at its finest, and I want to see more shit like that evolve, so that way fans of varying degrees of ability can enjoy their favorite sport. That's what I'm here for.
So that's really cool. We're gonna I'm actually excited to see more about this. It is only for select games, so it's not across every game that's currently in the NBA, but it's a step in the right direction. And I'm honestly excited to see where this ends up going more forward. So that's gonna be
Agreed.
really cool.
Agreed.
Sticking up next, well, going up next, still sticking with the NBA. Have you guys heard of the new tall freak in NBA, Victor Wembanyama?
The man, the legend himself. Yes.
Yes. So unfortunately, he is out for the rest of the season.
Oh
Due
no.
to DVT, which is short for deep vein thrombosis, which is, if you don't know, it is basically a blood clot that ends up it's a blood clot that starts in the body. It typically goes undetected, but the part that makes it scary is it can be a potentially moving blood clot, which can end
Mm.
up in your lung. Um, so when it comes down to it, another player who you may heard of that ended up having to deal with something similar to this is Chris Bosh, the power forward who used to play for the Miami Heat. Back in the 2014-2015 season, he actually ended up having to take the rest of that season off due to the fact that he also ended up having a blood clot as well that was in his that ended up in his lung. And a couple of years later, he ended up having to retire because of it. So with this being brought out of Wemby, who quite honestly was already a great young prospect, who this dude is, he could shoot, he could ball, he could dribble. He was an overall all around just great player. And unfortunately he's having to deal with this. Actually, so like I said, if you didn't know what DVT is, we actually do have a graphic up if you're watching. Basically kind of gives you a brief rundown as to what it is. So this example right here shows that there's a blood clot that's in the leg, and while it's there, it can because hit. So with Victor Wembanyama, his is in the shoulder. They could be in the leg and they could be shoulder. They could be in basically different parts of the body in the area. Typically goes undetected because
Of
it
course.
doesn't really give any symptoms,
Yeah.
and sometimes you don't know until it actually physically affects you or until it's too late.
And
Um,
that's the scary part about when it comes to like sports medicine and like the human body. It's like,
mhm.
yeah, sure, like you said, with this case, it could likely be undetected. So it's just like, huh, what can we
Yeah,
do? Question mark. The best thing we do is just get regular checkups and hope for the best. And that's really
yeah.
all you can do.
Because
And I hope
with
I
Chris
hope
Bosh,
I hope this doesn't end his career like Chris Bosh. That's what I'm getting
I hope it doesn't either because he's definitely a young player who has a very, really bright future ahead of him.
at.
What
Uh-huh.
Chris Bosh was doing when he was still dealing with this back when he was in the NBA, he was on blood thinners to try to help fight it. I don't know the full I don't know the full details of what happened afterwards. I know they gave him the blood thinners to try to help fight this ailment. Um, so we'll see where it ends up going.
Uh-huh.
He's definitively out for the rest of the season. So
Mhm.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Spurs are they are a playoff team. So this did, well, I won't say this knocked them out, but this definitely did end up hurting them pretty hard. But no matter what, thoughts go out to Victor Wembanyama. I hope him a very smooth, quick recovery. Hopefully
Yeah.
in the
Same.
times that medicine, because fortunately we are in a time where medicine is it the research behind medicine is so fast
Yeah,
and
we're
it just
having
keeps evolving each day.
we're at the
Where this
cutting edge
is
of medicine, like every day.
yes, so we're hoping that they can do something to go about trying to help him out in the situation, so that way it does not go about affecting him in the long term, where his career ends up getting shorter, or even worse, his life gets shortened from something like this. Because again, the fact that it's unnoticeable and it can travel and it typically travels to the lungs, and when it hits the lungs is when it typically gets noticed. That's the part that gets very scary.
Of course. So
Um,
yeah, this is definitely something to again hope for the best for him. I'm hoping that he can still continue to play next season, or at the very least get this treated, so that way he can be back on board.
yeah. So thoughts to him. I just want to bring it up real quick. But we are
Uh-huh.
also still going to be sticking with the NBA.
Who knows?
Who here knows about who here likes the NBA All Star?
Not anymore.
Exactly. You and several million other Americans, and yeah, several other millions of Americans, even like some international watch the All Star, feel the same way. So the
Really?
All Star weekend was this past weekend, and to put in perspective, like my mother, she is a very big sports fan. She, darn, I would say that she's more of a sports fan than I am.
Mm.
And she was like, I didn't even know that the All Star game was. It's gotten that bad.
I mean, to
Um,
be fair, like the Super Bowl was the height of the month. That was the most Black History Month ass Super Bowl we've ever
yeah.
had. So like, it's really easy to forget.
So we end up, we end up having the All Star. We end up having the All Star game, and viewership has dropped very, very hard. So this year they actually ended up coming out. They averaged about I think it was like 4.6, 4.7 million views for the All-Star game this weekend. That's still a drop from where it was before. I mean, it's above from where it was in 2023, but it's still an overall drop from where it has been. To put in perspective across the board, 4.7 million views for the All-Star game itself, which I'm going to talk about because they tried to do something different with the All-Star game, and it has made a lot of fans angry about it. But that has dropped. They also had the viewership for the celebrity game. It was at that have dropped down. This was at 1.2 million views for the celebrity game, which was down from the 1.6 that was last year, and that was still the second lowest it was last year. So it just keeps going lower and lower. And then there's also the Rising Star Challenge, which is basically the new faces coming up from the NBA. The sophomores and the rookies who's coming in, having to be in the Rising Stars Challenge. That has actually hit a new low. Hit a second new low. Because last year they was at 951,000, not million. They did not hit a single million.
Oh no.
They was at 951,000 last year. This year they're at 912,000. And the number just keeps dropping. The viewership for the NBA has been going down over the years, and there's been a bunch of different bunch of different video essays explaining like what is the cause of it. It's a couple of different things because again, it's the players kind of becoming divas, becoming a bit soft, not wanting to
Yeah,
play,
that's what
wanting to
next.
sit out. There's also been like some of the refs that's just not letting the players be players because everything the refs are also helping making the game soft, which I also don't like. Nobody's really in it for the championship; they're in it for the money, so there's really no heart there. And then even going into the actual All-Star weekend. So there has like the dunk contest was won by I forgot what the gentleman's name was. Let me look it up real quick. Just had it because it starts with an M. Mac McClung. So Mac McClung, he is in the G League. This is his third year in a row winning winning the dunk contest. And players like Giannis Antetokounmpo had came out and even stated that they're feeling a certain way, but they said that they need to go ahead. They might have to start entering the dunk contest because they don't quite like the feeling. They don't like the fact that they're basically being upstaged by somebody who's G League 3 years in a row. But my thing is like he's upstaging you because he has something to prove. He wants to make it to the big stage. He wants to end up hitting it here. This is his time to shine. You guys got so complacent being in the spotlight, making millions and millions of dollars. You don't really care about the fact that you're doing this. LeBron James had came out during a press conference, I think the day before, and said that, yeah, I'm just not going to play. My ankle feels a little weird. I'm not going to play in the All-Star week. And it was like, I mean, if you look back in the day, players like Dominique Wilkins, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, Shaq, Kobe, Allen Iverson, these players have all. This was this was an honor to be in the All-Star game, and now players just taking it in like they don't even care about the fact that it's happening anymore.
Yeah.
One thing that the commissioner tried to end up doing this season was, as opposed to having a full-blown All-Star game, they tried to have a mini All-Star tournament bracket. So they have 4 teams that end up doing a tournament style, and that ended up even more abysmal. So altogether, all 4 games altogether was about 38 minutes. A typical full NBA game, because it's 12 minutes per quarter across 4 quarters, 48 minutes. I think they said this altogether took about 3 hours for less than a full game's worth of play. And fans were not happy about it. Even if the highlights that we were showing up on the screen here actually end up showing that they actually have a huge even this video has a huge like to dislike ratio. Where for it the like ratio, I think it was like 15,000. Well, last I checked it was 15,000. It's probably gotten worse now. Yeah, so it has 15,000 upvotes and 9.5 thousand disvote. The most this is one of the worst like to dislike ratios that they end up having to deal with for NBA highlight. Yeah, it's just getting boring. People don't care, and it's just a dying sport. Now,
Yeah.
on the other hand, a sport that actually has been getting a lot more popularity, it's even one I'm watching right now, is the USA versus Canada game. So even like with them, that has actually raked in 10 million views for the first game between USA and Canada, which over doubles what the NBA All-Star Weekend has brought in. That's saying something.
Yeah. Just like touching back on basketball real quick, like just watching your reactions over the course of the season. It's just like they've. I think like the NBA. I think the problem is, or the problems, of course, are like the players can't be players. They can't trash talk. They can't be their competitive selves to help inspire more competition. And another issue that's happening is that honestly, these players are being paid too much because they're too busy trying to ring chase and make a dynasty. Looking at you, LeBron, still never forget. They're trying to ring chase a bag the entire time, and like they're not. Players need to play like renters do, like mortgages do, like their car notice do. They need to play with more effort. Like they're good. They're good at what they do. I'm not saying I could do better. Far from it. But part of that makes that the game enjoyable is the fierce fire-driven competition between your favorite athletes on opposing teams or a new rising star. It just, like you said, it's more like a soap opera at this point because everybody wants to be a diva and a drama queen and try and catch whatever check they can and jump from team to team to team like a fucking roaming orphan without a home. Like there needs to be, again, there's only so much that regulations can really do, but I think it's really unfortunate. I really think it's just up to the new generation and further to kind of come into the fray, bring back that same fire that we love about the NBA and we love about competitive sports, so that way it makes it more enjoyable again. So this is just one of those things where the greats like LeBron, like the greats like LeBron or Steph Curry or any of those guys, they gotta leave. Especially the really problematic ones, they definitely gotta leave. They gotta leave to make room and set the stage for another generation that has the fire, that has the drive to succeed and to compete to be the best. Because as it stands, while the league is not going to go anywhere, viewership is just going to keep tanking. Like it's going to just keep going down.
Yeah, viewership for the NBA on TV has been dropping over the past decade plus at this point. As of 2012, it was down, I think, 53%. They said sales for the NBA League Pass has gone up 56%, so year over year, it's gone up 50%. But that's also because of the fact that you can only watch certain teams through the NBA League Pass. You can even watch them on your own local channels. One big point here in Chicago is if you have Xfinity, if you have Comcast, if you have UB, you're not able to watch the Chicago Bulls because of the fact that the Chicago Sports Network is not being shown on those channels. They even came up on Twitter telling you, hey, if you want to watch us, all you gotta do is just switch over to AT&T and you can watch us that way, which was like a giant slap in the face to everybody else who wants to watch these scenes. Like, we're not gonna deal with them if we want to watch you. Our disdain for them is more than our life for you. So that's one case in point. But again, like even the Saturday Night Live, even Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary episode, actually ended up outdoing the NBA All-Star Game across the entire weekend viewership combined because they actually end up pulling out. So with the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary episode had raked in 14.8 million views. Again, that's more than everything for the NBA All-Star Weekend combined. Dunk skill, the dunk skill 3-point, All-Star and Rising Star Challenge. All of them combined still do not equal out to how much getting raked in by the SNL Live.
And what's funny is, and you know what's funny? SNL to me has fallen off over the past like 15 years. Like I used to really like it growing up, and then like of course unrelated to the court, by the way, but I used to really like it growing up. Now it's just not as funny. And the fact that me personally, with SNL being at its arguable worst, did better than the NBA. And it's just like viewership wise. And it's like, oh, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot.
So yeah, but then like I said, NBA, going over to hockey, they have been doing better. Even the game that's currently on has been actually a really good game. If you've been watching live, you've been seeing me do some out of pocket reactions. That's because the game is on right now. It is tied up going into the third period. USA and Canada is tied up 2-2. Actually, really good game so far. Really nice hit. But going back to the game from last Saturday, this game was this was a hard-nosed game. Right from the get-go. In the first 9 seconds, there were 3 fights. They averaged 1 fight every 3 seconds in the first 10 seconds of the game.
Fucking beaten ass. And it's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, so the Kachuk brothers, the Kachuk brothers from the United States, end up getting into a fight right out the gate. So as soon as the puck dropped, the first brother ended up getting into a fight. 3 seconds later after that, 3 seconds, like basically in terms of the game clock, 3 seconds later, the next brother got into a fight. So both of them was on the bench for the power play. So it was a 3v, not 3v3. It was a, I think it was a 3v3. And then there was another fight that ended up happening after an attempt on the goal. That was Canada's retaliation going back to the United States. But the thing is, when it comes down to a fighting in the NHL, like in the NHL, they try to limit the fighting. But right here, when it came down to this one, best thing they can end up doing is let these players go ahead and duke it out, get out their system. Because when it comes down to it with the NHL, this was more or less of a thing of a spark plug when it came down to the game. Because the United States and Canada do have a heated hockey rivalry, and I mean, this is why I personally feel like when it comes down to it, why the NBA was falling behind the NHL, because they let the players, they let them do their own thing. Ask me how many hockey games I've watched this season.
How many outside of this?
0. I have watched 0 hockey games, and this caught my attention more than the NBA All-Star Weekend.
It's like I don't expect, and I don't know, nor do I want nor expect NBA players just to start boxing on the fucking court. That'd be cool. That'd be funny as fuck. But that's not what we're here for.
Here comes LeBron James with the Superman fist.
Fucking here comes from downtown.
Boom shakalaka.
But no, it's like, again, like letting the players be players, letting them have that fire in their heart to be like, all right, I want to compete and I'm going to kick your ass one way or another. Like that's what the NBA is missing. It's missing that kind of it's missing that spark.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with that. And good game so far. Watching this still live. This is the championship match, so I will keep you posted because the match is going to be done before the podcast is done. So I'll let you know who ends up winning out this one. But it is third period, tied 2-2. Hard-nosed game, and it's only going to get even more hard-nosed.
Hell yeah. Here for it.
And the last thing I'm going to end up bringing up is the whole reason why I got on this hat right here. If you can't tell what it is, I have on the NASCAR Chicago hat from 2024 because the Daytona 500 was this past Sunday.
Daytona.
And apparently this was a good race. So we end up who won this race going to the final one. It was your top 3 was William Byron, Tyler Reddick, as well as Jimmy Johnson being in the top. As it came down to the last few laps of this race, there were quite a few accidents. So when it comes down to reason being is because the reason why there were so many accidents here, because these racers are all up on each other. They're literally riding bumper to bumper. They're drafting, trying to get an edge up so that way they can go ahead and take it. What ended up happening here was there was a couple times where they ended up riding a little bit too close and they end up spinning out. So like for example, like Bubba Wallace, he actually ended up getting into an accident. He was out. Cody Ware, number 51, he got into an accident. He was out. Christopher Bell, number 20, he was out. Ryan Priest, number 60, he was out doing an accident. Kyle Busch, number 8, he was out. Bubba Wallace, number 23, he was out. There was a lot of people out this race due to a number of accidents. But all in all, from what I've seen, I didn't end up watching the first part of the race because the first half of it is more or less just the racers going out there. Within like the last 20, 25 laps is when it really starts kicking in. And last 50, the last 50 laps I want to say is like when it really starts kicking in, because then they start trying to fight for position, they start trying to fight for points, going for podium, and yeah, so that was the Daytona 500. Really nice one, really hype race that ended up happening with this. We had our first, second, and third. It seems like that the next race is going to end up happening with this one. According to the NASCAR schedule, is going to be whenever my website wants to start working with me. So the next race is actually going to be the Ambetter Health 400. That's going to be happening on this upcoming Sunday. That's going to be over in Hampton, Georgia. So, again, interesting races that's been going up. And that's mentioned like this was dual. This was actually the full race because there was a dual 1 and dual 2 races in Daytona. Ended up happening not this last Thursday, but previous Thursday on the 13th, where Bubba Wallace ended up winning the first duel and Austin Cindric ended up winning the second. William Byron won the entire race, so we'll see where it ends up going on to race number going into 23rd for the next race. The season is still just starting. Season is still just starting. Like we're literally only into race number. If I'm not mistaken, when it comes down to us, I think we're only into race number 4 of the season. So we still got a couple of more. We got a few more months, as well as them coming back to Chicago on July 6th for the next Chicago race. That is I don't know what days. That's a Sunday, so they will be in Grand Park racing again. So be prepared.
Don't go anywhere.
Right now, I'm pretty sure it's gonna rain.
Yeah. Also, 2 things. First, not sure if I told you, Al, but fun fact: the college I went to was next door to the Daytona racetrack.
Really?
Yes, I went to school. Yeah, I went to an aerospace engineering school. After I graduated high school, and it was next door, or at least like as close as it can get to the Daytona racetrack. Second thing, it's so scary seeing these crashes sometimes because it's fascinating, but at the same time, I'm like, what if I was in there? I was watching one of the crashes. The car flipped upside down, hit the wall, flipped right back upside up. I'm like,
Yeah, no, like if you see Cars 3, the way Lightning McQueen ended up crashing, or even Cars 1, the way that Doc Hudson ended up crashing.
Yep.
In the flashback. Those are actually based off of real actions that end up happening.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy how it works.
But
it is insane.
But yeah, thank you for giving me my ear. We did go into a bit of overtime here, but that has been this week in sports news.
Overtime.
Thank you so much for that, King. Always appreciate being on your side of the court in the world of sports. But now it's time for us to spelunk down deep into the bowels of hell. I mean, the cave.
Come on, man. It's comfortable. I've made it as nice as I can. See? Look, it's okay. It is okay. We're just chilling out here. Everybody's just vibing. Bruce is here too. Hey, Bruce. Hello and welcome to the cave. Where this is my little corner of the world where I like to talk about tech and tech-related things. And we're going to go ahead and jump into something that was very fascinating. Where I'm making sure my works. Perfect. Got it. Jumping into ever want your Kindle to be a fucking gaming console? Now it can be with the e-ink gaming console. So the reason why I mention this is that e-ink is a high efficiency, it's like an energy efficient monochrome color display that is used on e-readers typically. Someone said, let's take this and make it into a game console for narrative-based stories. So kind of tied into the game that Dave was showing us earlier. This is definitely a really cool thing to kind of work with. This is an open source project that is coming up, and this is going to really revolutionize like point and click / text-based narrative adventures on there. So if you really want to immerse yourself into the world, it's really fascinating what they're doing with this. Sports a 5,000 milliamp battery, mono speaker, so 1 speaker, stereo headphone jack, Wi-Fi 4, so basic ass Wi-Fi, basic Bluetooth. But for something like, but these games are tiny as shit. I'm talking about like smaller than a JPEG, like kilobits of fucking game size. And it's really cool to see such an interesting concept, like taking the e-ink, that type of technology, and turning it into a more interactive storytelling device. What it looks like, it only has about 4 megs of flash memory, about 4 megabits of memory, which again, it's not a lot, But for the games that are going to be, could it run Doom? Probably. Should it? No. I'm going to say that now. But that being
bleeding ink.
it just starts bleeding ink. That's all it does. That being said, this is really cool. Like, again, you can slap an SD card in and put your books into it. You can probably also read books on it as well with the simple navigation. And it looks like they have 2 options. They have one that's just like a 1-button option, and then they have another one that is a 2-button option. But this is being crowdfunded. It is still being worked on as we speak. I think. Let me see. Yeah, I think it starts on the. I think the crowdfunding starts on the 1st. Looking more into the page, I'm gonna go ahead and send this to your way, David. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom, pow. Penis. Went ahead and posted it there too. Of what's there, and you got text-based adventures like Zork, The Hobbit, and a bunch of older games too that you could just go ahead and put there. So again, this is really for the text-based enthusiasts, but it gives you pictures to work with as well to kind of help fulfill that gap in the imagination. So I've always been fascinated by e-ink because I think I covered something last week about a TV or like a large display that's doing something similar like this. So that's definitely really cool. It's a system on a chip, so everything's just all on one chip. Super basic, but again, you really don't need a lot for something that's going to be displaying shit in black and white, and it's primarily going to be like text-based games and stuff. So it's text-based adventures, but developing and depending on developers that are working on it, you can basically make your games on this, and they are making game books for the console where it's just cartridges with the game on it, and you get a great, an amazing storytelling experience on the palm of your hand. So this isn't like one of the billion fucking emulator consoles for Nintendo or PlayStation. No, this is a storybook experience. And honestly, Al, I think you might get a good kick out of this. Like, I could see you enjoy reading a good like fantasy book or reading a good novel that's interactive. Like, it's really cool.
Like, I wouldn't mind putting, like, if I can find like a horror one, I actually think that'd be pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah, that'd be amazing.
Like sitting down chilling, and also like you just turn the page and jump scare.
Yeah, like Junji Ito style shit, or like World of Horror from that one game. Like, I love this idea. It's very innovative what they're doing here and how they're making it work. Because text-based adventures is a holdover from MS-DOS from way back in the day. Predates obviously all of us. Predates modern graphical UI.
There's one adaptation of Disco Elysium on this thing.
That would go so hard, but that game will be so massive. And they have to rework the entire game. But it will be stellar to see more games like this. Again, even if it's not a game, even if it's just a really good book with fantastic illustrations that fit the ink display to kind of make it pop, and helps, again, fill that void in the imagination. So instead of having to, well, you can still use your imagination for other scenes, just having some good reference images will be a fantastic thing to kind of tap it on. But let's go from low res to high res, as there are reports of the 5060, the newest graphics card from NVIDIA, not being available for months now. And this is amidst the tariffs that have been implemented by the current executive branch. This is in the midst of shortages of this shit because like high demand, low supply. Right now, this is just speculation, but due to issues with it looks like it's issues with supply. Where of course with the 5090 stock being damn near impossible to find, like I mentioned last week, where Zotac, if I didn't mention last week, I'm just gonna mention it here. Zotac, a card manufacturer, decided to say, "Hey, let's make a Discord. We have our Discord. Let's do a raffle in the Discord, so that way people don't fucking kill each other over this shit, and we can mitigate any bots because you have to be active in the Discord." And what's crazy is that with and this is not posted in our news here, but a lot of people are going back to like the 4070s and the 4060s, like the previous generation.
Like I said,
which,
you don't really need the newer shit.
You don't need it. It's like case in point. I like to use Gina's computer as an example. I like to use Mark's computer as an example. With Gina, the one that I built her, she just got a new graphics card. She just got an NVIDIA RTX 3060, which is almost as good as my card, maybe a little bit less. She is good for Monster Hunter. I did my research. She is ready for Monster Hunter. Mark may not be Monster Hunter ready for console, but not console, for PC, but he can do game capture from his PS5, which he has. So thinking ahead, he's good. Now, going back to this is that these cards, this always happens, especially NVIDIA. They tend to have the most expensive cards, but they tend to be the most popular. AMD is right behind them because they're there's only 3 makers right now: NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel. Intel is trailing at the lowest end because not a lot of stuff is really optimized for Intel architecture. With that being said, this going into it, this is coming from internal rumors from security and international securities analysts saying that supply issues the supply chain issues, because like what they had in the pandemic, getting these cards is going to be tough, and then combined with the tariffs, since these cards are not made in states, because obviously it's going to make it more expensive. So they're set to come out in March as opposed to this month, because remember, this shit was announced last month. Usually stuff comes out like within a month or two of announcement, so it is a slight delay in these cards. But let's be real, depending on the game you're trying to play, unless you're trying to play at fucking max settings, fucking 4K, 8K ultra wide monitor, let's be 110% transparent. First of all, fuck the AI frame generation shit, just because you're getting robbed out of like what a card could actually do, because they're pushing all this behind fluff and shit you really don't need. Secondly, 1080p 60 FPS, it still looks amazing. I've been running 1440p for the past year, and it's just like, it's cool. It's a little bit better than 1080p. I just have bigger monitors because I use that more for editing, for photo editing, video editing, or even working on music. I have a larger canvas for me to have my timelines on. So, bearing that in mind, you really don't need to jump right into this right the fuck away. If anything, let it cool down for a bit. Wait till mid-year or towards end of year to jump on to the new bandwagon for the current gen, if you really need to. And that's like if you're running a 1070 going to a 5070. And that's a large gap. That's like a decade gap. Case the point. Going back to Gina, I gave her my Asus ROG Strix GTX 1070 that I've had since 2013. You know what that game has ran since then on high performance, ultra performance? Doom Eternal, all the Yakuza games that I've played so far, Monster Hunter World. She's been playing Nikki, which is Infinity Nikki, which is a newer game. Granted, while it's not graphically, game's not graphically intensive, it looks and runs great. She's been reporting to me no problems running Nikki, and honestly, not many problems running Monster Hunter Wilds. So it's just like a good, and I always say this: good components don't go bad. They just become outdated and outclassed by their younger counterparts. So if I'm rocking an i7 from 2 years ago, yeah, sure, okay, I could consider upgrading to an i7 or an i9 to current gen, but I don't really need to. Right now, I'm rocking a Ryzen 9 from like last year, year before. I'm good for like another 5 years, maybe 10. And by that point, I'll just build a new computer because I've got my money's worth tenfold. But yeah, so just keeping up with the parts news. Again, this is speculation, but March is like 2 weeks away, not even. So just keep your eyes peeled. If you really need to get a new card, the 5060 and the 5070 are like the the budget mid-tier enthusiast level cards. So if you really must, definitely just hold on for a little bit. Go for a previous gen. Go for the 4060s and 4070s if you gotta. So that save yourself some money. Save yourself a fucking headache. And speaking of yourself, saving yourself a fucking headache, the world. What's up?
I just want to say before you also swap topics, I want to mention real quick, as a person who deals with stocks, NVIDIA stock has been on the hard buy as of late because of this.
Yep.
If you're dealing with stocks, I recommend buy a stock of this.
Yeah, because like they exploded during the AI craze. Like they blew up right when AI was like being a big thing, because they were like the forefront and center of the AI wave generation. NVIDIA stock price right now is going for $140 a share, which is really cheap as opposed to, let me see, year to date, their highest was like $150 a share. Going further back, here we go. They were at their highest probably around November of last year. So not that far ago, because starting out in 2021, I remember seeing them starting out, they were like at $13 a share. So they went over 10 times their value in the span of like 2.5 years, or 2.5 to 3 years. So definitely, if you want to have a good investment, tech is really where it's at. AMD is still behind Nvidia by a lot at 115 a share, and I think Intel was really cheap. It's like 75 or maybe $80 a share.
Right now
investing
Intel is sitting at because I got them on my watch list.
I think I bought like a share of Intel like some years ago. But yeah, it's when it comes to the investment
share at the moment after market.
How much?
$25.92.
Damn, that's cheap as fuck. Yeah, no, that's Intel has not been doing that good over the years because their graphics cards have only been just okay, and like processors like AMD has been kicking their ass in the processors. But yes, tech and slight investment news: Nvidia, AMD, honestly, even Intel. If you want to spend some cash, if you got some cash left over, buying some shares on that is going to be smart because when it comes to new technology, even like Apple, for example, buying technology for technology, the stocks go up when there's a new announcement because the investors are expecting people to cash in on pre-orders, cash in on the hype, and cash in on that dollar to get it. And then if it does well, it's just going to make their stock prices soar even higher. Buy low, sell high.
Bingo.
But something that's not some feat that's not something to scoff at is the world's smallest solid state drive by Planck, PLANCK. Which, fun fact, that is also a unit of measurement for scientific purposes. So I think Planck, Planck heat or Planck temperature. It's like either for like it's usually like the smallest size or like the lowest possible recorded temperature. Right? Let me see.
2 terabytes of that small thing?
Yes. Yep.
It makes me uneasy in a way though, because it's like I already got my like smaller SanDisk SSD, and it's like
there we go. Yeah,
the
but
fears.
A Planck temperature. By the way, Planck temperature is the highest recorded temperature in history ever. It is 1.416784 times 10 to the 32nd in Kelvin.
Mm-hmm.
That's like you're evaporating immediately hot ever recorded. It's like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, solid states. You're saying, David? It's super small size?
It's so small, and it's like they already make it seem like if you accidentally... Oh, they're already... Okay, they're answering my question now. They're showing that it's like splash and drop proof. So it's like
there you go.
More heavy duty than... It's like pretty heavy duty already.
It has to be. Because for something like this, it's up there with like Western Digital's rugged and LaCie rugged drives, but infinitely smaller. Like,
This will change the game, to be honest. That's
dead
crazy.
ass. It's as small as one of my fucking pins. That's what's crazy.
That's wild.
So, with the fact that you can also dock this into cameras, got my eyes wide open because that makes data transfer off cameras infinitely better.
Instead of like freaking big ass what's it called?
SD cards.
Big ass SD cards. Now you're just carrying around freaking SSDs that's crazy, dude.
You could put and it works on gaming consoles as well. So imagine, David, if you will, you're playing your ROG Ally.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
And like with this, it's again,
coin pocket.
This definitely was really fascinating. It's so outrageously small. Actually, it is comically small when it comes to how it's formed, and it's still fascinating. You get 1 or 2 terabyte options. It's not going to be cheap because a portable solid state drive is very expensive, but it is worth it. You're getting speeds up to 1,000 megabits per second, and it's also able to sustain high speeds over well over the threshold for 4K 120 FPS. So, David, for your new iPhone, this is going to be your best friend.
2 terabytes only looking like it's if you early bird it, it's about like $200 for a 2 terabyte.
That's a fair deal.
Size is very.
That's a fair deal. That is a fair deal.
2 terabytes. No, you can get a 2 terabyte and then like other stuff. 2 terabytes. No, 2 1 terabytes or 250. And then
they already crushed their goal.
For like less than 400, 388. Man, this would be crazy to have, man.
Yeah, and they have for 168, which is a really good deal. You get a docking station. You get a docking station and a 1 terabyte drive for 170. So this is phenomenal, and like it should be in production as of May of this year. So very, very soon. So the portable storage game, has changed. just like how nonsense gets out of our fucking face at the speed of fucking sound. Anywho, going back to pure raw speed, raw unadulterated speed, this is something that I want to put my money into. Like, since I have my new phone, shout outs to, I'm not sponsored by the way, got my Pixel 7 Pro, love this thing. I do want to get myself one of these, at least for my camera, so that way I have a large ass data redundancy backup for all my footage, because there's so much shit I want to do. And speaking of shit that I don't want to do, let's talk about investing into a bad AI idea. So the company behind the AI pen, the controversial one that like everybody said Marquise Brownlee single-handedly killed
their company,
even though the product was bad and it just did not work as intended. Yeah, this shit's dead. And devices will be bricked in 9 days. Let's talk about the e-waste problem, because I fucking hate it here. So, also I forgot too. I gotta move you over from here to
No, but yeah, the way that this thing, like, it was a concept that made sense, but it's like the hardware was not good.
The hardware and the software were just not good. And it's just like these AI assistant things, they're really cool in theory, but it just did not work. So for those who don't know, the humane AI pen was like an AI assistant that you wear, and then how you control it was just voice control, and it projects images on your hand via a projector. And so there's no interface per se other than the button to talk to it and pair to it, and the rest is done via like the AI assistant in it, and of course an app on your smartphone. Again, in theory, it can work. In practice, it was really bad. It was abysmally bad. So bad so that, like I mentioned, all the devices will be bricked in 9 days. So going back to the e-waste problem, Spotify did this with the Spotify car thing.
Yeah.
They bricked those shits. And people have repurposed them into desktop streaming devices, which are really cool. And made them and jailbroken them and gotten them open source software on there so that way you can load whatever you want there, because it's effectively just a tablet with a big ass knob on it.
Yeah.
So something to keep up on that. And the company that bought, and then Humane, HP bought up the company behind it. So it's a sad end to a product with potential but just poor execution. They were bought by HP for $116 million. All sales of the pen have ceased. All AI pens will stop working next week on Monster Hunter launch day. Anyone who's bought a pin, who's unfortunately bought a pin in the last 90 days, is entitled for a refund. But if you bought it any older than that, if you're like an early adopter, you're SOL. Like, that's just how it is.
Sucks.
It really does suck. And honestly, it just makes me sad to see that a good idea has gone to waste. But to end on a better note, that is going to be it for the cave, because we have a little bit more news to cover. So I will see you guys next time. We got a full segment this time because last week we ran a little too long on time. So I will see you guys later. Get up!
Doors closing.
Hell yeah, brother. And with that,
just in case.
We're gonna move on to last week's news. This week, we just talk about
way ahead of you.
Geeky Nerdy news for Geeky Nerdy people. Let's see. So to actually move on to more positive news before we go on to the last thing, Pokemon Presents is having a presentation. It's Pokemon Day again. On February 27th, 2025, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard, so 8 a.m. our time. I'm probably going to be up anyway because that's my day off. So I will be doing a live reaction to what the hell's going on with the Pokemon Presents next week. We're going to get more news on the Pokemon ZA game. So looking forward to seeing if that's going to be something worth caring about. I just want a Pokemon game with a unique battle system in it, or at least like an action RPG or something like that. I want to see a Pokemon game that looks like it's a new gen console game.
Let me actually control my Pokemon so I can throw hands. Yeah, that'd be funny shit.
I mean, not to mention the fact that we are getting, if we do get Za news, which I'll be surprised if we don't, but if we get Za news, I'm just happy that we got our Mega Evolutions back. To this day, still my favorite Pokemon gimmick, Mega Evolution.
Yeah, that like Mega
that's cool
Lucario,
shit.
Mega Charizard, and all that other stuff was very cool. But yeah, like a lot of people are looking forward to whatever can come out of that. The Pokken tournament whistleblowers are at it again, or they're just like, bro, we just want another Pokken game. I'm there with them. But honestly, going off of the last Pokemon Presents presentations that we've had, it's going to be probably 30 minutes of mobile game updates because in addition to uh what we got, Pokemon Masters EX, we have Pokemon TCG
Cafe.
Pocket, we have Pokemon Unite, we have Pokemon Go, we have Pokemon what
Cafe.
else? Yeah, Pokemon Cafe Remix. We have Pokemon Sleep. Yeah, Pokemon Sleep actually exists now. So that's like 7 fucking mobile games, right?
Pokemon.
That's a lot of Pokemon mobile games before we actually get to a Pokemon mainline game, or like at least a console Pokemon game. And who knows if that's gonna just be a fucking 2-minute, 3-minute trailer that just actually shows us gameplay, maybe gives us a date, or if it's actually gonna go in depth on what we're gonna be doing in this game. I hope it's the latter because I just want to see and understand how the game works.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm keeping tabs on multiple facets of Pokemon right now anyway. So like I'm gonna be playing TCG Pocket throughout the year. I'm going to be playing whatever Legends ZA is, hopefully if it's interesting enough. But yeah, a lot of people are trying to get their predictions out. I honestly don't care to do predictions on stuff like this anymore. I'll just see what it is when it comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Uh,
Yes, sir.
And then let's see here. Next thing, as we mentioned, bad ideas getting shut down because they're bad ideas. How about people still getting laid off even though they're part of good ideas? So this was a article that went up a couple days ago, where NetEase confirmed that Marvel Rivals layoffs were made to quote unquote optimize development efficiency for the game. So even though Marvel Rivals is like one of the most successful team-based online multiplayer experiences right now, people are still not safe from getting laid off or losing their job positions for big wig optimized development things.
Nope.
Very interesting that that type of stuff can still happen regardless.
Especially on the eve of like a new launch because they have a new map and the Thing and Human Torch are coming to the game too, and the game has broke 40 million players now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, there's that's what makes me really mad and really sad about the state of it's about the state of gaming, where it's like no matter how successful you are, no matter how successful the game is, your career, your livelihood is hanging by a thread. And then seeing the fact that with NetEase like making such like this, because this is for the US support team. I think they're based in Seattle. With the US based support team getting axed just out of fucking nowhere, the game is far from struggling. The game is far from not thriving. It's like one of the best, like David said, it's one of the hottest games right now in its genre. Overwatch is trying to keep up, and people are divisive about that because of Overwatch. So it's like, what do you do as a developer? What do you do as a support staff? What do you do when you work for these companies, knowing that every single day could possibly be your last? Like, it's just not fair.
Everything right, and it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, it's just like, and I don't understand. It's just like, why? Why would the team let go? Like, you guys made like 20 million. By the time of this writing, it was like 20 million concurrent players. Well, 20 million registered players. And you're talking about making a Switch port. So it's going to be like another 20 million players ready to fucking go. Yet you want to axe all these people out of work for no reason. I'm like, all right. Like, that's fucking irritating.
Because, like, my idea is, if the team as a support was doing such a good job with Rival, why not let them go ahead and step up to the plate and see what they might be able to do themselves? That's the name line.
Yeah, let them do working still on American side on the servers, pushing, maybe even help pushing some new character designs for other heroes. Because right now, if you've seen the trailer for the new map, Blade is there, so he's going to come in next season, or it could be a mid-season launch. I don't know. Regardless, it's just like the point is, it's like it's just not fair as a developer where like big or small, successful or not, like every day working your job, doing the thing you love could possibly be your last because you don't know if your boss or the investors above your boss are going to say, yeah, y'all got to trim the fat. Y'all got to get rid of this department because even though you're doing super good, you got to get rid of these people.
Yeah. And then also this one's not on the docket, but I just wanted to bring this up really quick as well. That there's another Fortnite season happening. Obviously, Fortnite isn't going anywhere. But this one's interesting because it looks like they're crossing over with more. They're doing a lot more on the musical side this season. So it looks like a new character named by the name of Big Dill, which is just like a pickle with a shiesty on and a chain.
With a shiesty
and a chain. And he apparently stole beats from T-Pain. And there's like a whole rap beef going on. So
not the whole story arc.
Yeah,
oh
there's
my
like
God.
a whole intermeta story arc going on, and I'm not sure if that means T-Pain is gonna have music in Fortnite this season, or if they're just trying to do some other overarching
T-Pain in the game. God damn it.
Yeah, so
I'm actually surprised he's not in the game yet.
I mean, they could possibly put him in some capacity, like after Miku's whole Fortnite festival passes over. So we'll see. But yeah, just silly that T-Pain's being brought up in the marketing for Fortnite right now. So that's just
honestly, T-Pain is like I would honestly seeing T-Pain in video game marketing is just really funny because we know he's a gamer.
Yeah.
So it's just like seeing him there is just super funny.
Also, the fact that he also vibes with VTubers as well, G.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for real.
So that being said, the new Fortnite Chapter 6, I think Season 2 drops tomorrow. So that's the map's gonna change up again, so that'll be interesting to check out. But yeah, that's pretty much all the news we're gonna talk about this week. A lot of it was mostly the cave and sports based, and also just like the other releases that are coming out this week. Also, Avowed's out. I forgot Avowed came out. Avowed is getting very good reviews.
Yeah,
a lot of people are fucking with it heavy.
It is an Obsidian story-based action RPG.
And like, also,
Obsidian writes good stories.
I gotta say, it's getting put down as a nomination for Best Black Hair Award for this year. There's some damn good hair. Damn good hair in that game. So like when I was doing the character creation, you can make a good nigga in that game. Like you can make a good black person.
Good nigga.
Yeah, dude. So I'm gonna check that out when I have time. I definitely want to be in the conversation when Avowed gets brought up at the end of the year. But
yeah, I'll probably add that to the list.
It's just making time because I think some people are like average for a playthrough. You can probably hit it in like 30-ish hours, but if you're trying to enjoy the game, 50-ish hours. But I haven't played.
I'd say 50 to 60.
I haven't dove into a fantasy action RPG of that type before, and honestly, I'm trying to expand my horizons on games that I'm playing more. So I would like to check it out this year. I think I would enjoy.
If you like this, you'll like Outer Worlds.
Definitely.
Like same people, same team, same people. It is the big project they have. And it's honestly going to be it's just going to be even more fast paced and more hectic. Would probably expect some really good writing, and like you're already hooked on the character design, so it's like, all right, I'm
like I mentioned, where it's like I was playing Shangri-La Frontier, and it's just a game with really cool combat, really cool magic, fully immersive type of fantasy game. I'm like, I want a game where I'm playing, doing awesome magic, doing awesome like just crazy video game fantasy shit. And I think that Avowed could scratch that itch for me, so I do want to check that out.
Yes.
It'll probably have to be maybe 2 weeks after Monster Hunter's been out, though, so I can at least get that itch done, because I'm in between games where I'm just trying to like wait until Monster Hunter's out to play that, and then I'll be able to jump to something else. But right now I'm playing Rise and also just watching Free Ren and just chilling, and also slowly picking away to Okami HD before Monster Hunter comes out. So yeah, I'll definitely check out
before you get your Amaterasu skin in fucking Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, dude, I want it so bad, bro. Yeah, with that, that's the news. We're all good. That is the show. We did another one.
We did it.
Like I say, in terms of the Canada versus USA game, still ongoing. They are tied at the end of the third period, so they are going into overtime.
Ooh.
They
Those
just
scams.
keep throwing hands.
They just keep fighting. We're gonna turn and they're turning NHL into fucking Def Jam Fight for New York on Ice, the musical.
Man,
But yeah, with that, we're gonna get out of here. But before we do that, we gotta remind y'all that you can find us pretty much everywhere. Look up ConMenRDW. You will find me. You'll find Brendan. You will find Al. You'll find Mark. All underneath those names on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitch, on Blue Sky, all that other stuff. But you can find us individually on our own social platforms and stuff. So, Brendan, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube, and SoundCloud, all under the same handle, AG Back Tech, where you can find me reposting and talking about tech and tech-related news on my subsequent channels. If you follow me on, if you really like the music you've been hearing, either on my stream, David's stream, Al's stream, Mark's stream, or Untold Plot's stream, a friend of the channel, that is my music as well too. Feel free to give me a follow on SoundCloud, and if you follow me on Blue Sky or Instagram, I do post the little teasers ahead of time, either before or after the songs come out, depending on when my timing is. Regardless, if you like what you hear, definitely give me a follow on the Blue Sky, and all those sort of platforms, especially the SoundCloud. I really want to try and get myself. Let's actually shoot for 10 followers, and then we're gonna shoot for more because I have more music that I am working on.
Oh, yeah.
So yes, and then of course I'm gonna go ahead and alley-oop it over to the king himself, Alante.
yo, what up? Yeah, you can find me over here on Twitch as well as on the King to
There you
Darts as well as. You can alley move a basketball. You can alley move a kickball.
That's the ball I have.
But yeah, you can find me over here on Twitch at King to Darts as well as my YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. You thought I was gonna Twitter, but yeah, you can find me all those different places on the King to Darts. Slow stuff going on right now. I do need to wait for the weather to break for me to do a video. Please, just be patient with me. You will see something go up really soon, and I'm excited to go about exploring again and showing it. But enough about the king. I'm gonna take it from the king, headed to the boss.
Yeah, and you can find me, DaveedRDW, that's DaveedRDW, on Blue Sky, on TikTok, on Instagram, and other social platforms. So mostly, like I said, just look up ConMenRDW and you'll find me and everyone else's links where you can follow all of us respectfully there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Join us in chat live at twitch.tv/ConMenRDW, where you can listen live and also interact with the chat like Loggy Doves, like Gina Miko, like Turbo Samus, like anyone else who was hanging out, lurking, and listening throughout today's show. And also shout out to everyone who's watching the VOD or listening in post on YouTube or also on Spotify, where we post this video there as well. And also check out the highlights and everything that we have going up on TikTok and other social platforms. Social media is hard and time consuming. So definitely
it is a job.
It is a whole job. But yeah, thank you so much for y'all listening, sharing, and supporting this way, but also definitely share the link out. Let people know that there's niggas out there with microphones that can be trusted and worth listening to. And also that we have other ways that you can support us as well. If you're willing to toss us a little bit of cash, definitely follow us on Patreon. Follow us there. Support us so we can make our passions our priority. I would like to do this, honestly, just as a thing I do without having to go to a job that I don't like that much. But yes, I like doing this more. So thank you so much for listening. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll catch y'all on the next week's episode. Actually, no, there's no episode next week because Monster Hunter. So catch us on Twitter. Catch us on Twitch and
Blue
also
Sky
listen on Blue Sky so you can see when we're going live and hunting next week. So we'll catch y'all later. Catch y'all in the hunting and hollering over on Twitch. Bye.
Nigga mode.
You know.
What nigga mode?
Done recording, still alive. Let me see if there's anyone we can petty raid to real quick.
Every second, nigga mode. Nigga mode. Nigga mode. Yeah, who is that we can raid over to?
Ooh.
Let's man. Let's see.
I know, right?
Man, it's time. Respect it.
Truth is, I'm tired.
Don't care. Make it happen.
Yeah, we're just gonna go off Raw this week. We're gonna go offline Raw. So thank
Oh, you
y'all,
going
everyone
Raw?
else, for listening. We'll catch y'all next week.